For that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour one of Jon and Jim on a spectacular day to kick off the 2024-25 college basketball season here in San Diego. We're outside Viejas Arena. You just heard Jim with the update. Our pregame coverage is kind of underway. It's like the unofficial pregame coverage beginning now, and then we'll have pregame coverage, myself and Ben Fletcher, beginning at 6 p.m. If you're making your way out, we're right outside the main gates. Make sure to say hello. We have ticket giveaways for the next home game as well, which is next Tuesday night here at Viejas Arena, so we'll have those for you over the next couple of hours. If you missed our conversation with Aztec guard Wayne McKinney, we'll play that back for you later on during Jon and Jim as well. There is Padres news, of course, Jim, that we will get to. But, you know, I think back to a year ago, we were here, and here we are again outside Viejas Arena, another season.
What?
I was just trying. My point was,
we were here last year, and now we're here again.
It's kind of gone quickly. Like, I feel like the offseason typically feels longer than it was. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago that we're outside Viejas Arena. Maybe it's because they made a run to the Sweet 16, but yet here we are again, San Diego State. UC San Diego coming up in about 4 hours from Viejas.
Yeah, usually they have a basketball season every year, Jon.
Oh, do they do that?
Yeah,
now? That's cool.
Did you not know that?
I thought it was like the Olympics.
So what happens is they have a season, and then once the national championship game is played, they have this thing called the offseason, and then after what's called the offseason is the start of the next regular season.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So we are now at the start of that next regular season.
Okay.
So it starts tonight, and I'm excited because it's a lot of new faces. You get to see a lot of new players in bigger roles, and I think, you know, as an Aztec fan, we've been used to some of the, you know, same faces here for a while now, like Darion Trammell and Lamont Butler and Micah Parrish multiple years and Jaden Ledee. You know, like, you've seen a lot of the same faces here for the last 4 years. And now it's pretty much all new, with the exception of a couple guys that will be put into roles that are bigger this year, and they're expected to perform. And I'm excited to see what they look like.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's interesting that you said that we saw a lot of guys for 4 years. Of the four players you mentioned, one of them was here for more than 2 years.
I said the last 4 years we've seen a lot of the same faces.
You know, what we did see, it's the new world we're in, right? NIL and transfer portal. The national championship team had played together for 4 years. Nathan Mensah, Adam Seiko, Aguka Rope, right? That group. Lamont was on that team. It was his third year. That group played together. Some of those guys 4 or 5 years together. Then last year you had like the new look to the roster. Half of them were out, half of them returned. And now this year, to your point, the only Aztec that has played in a Final Four is Nick Boyd, who played against the Aztecs 2 years ago for FAU. So there are new faces. And if you missed our conversation with Wayne McKinney, transferred from USD, we'll play it for you coming up later this hour. But it is a spectacular day to kick off the season. It's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere inside. Ted Leitner will begin his final season on the call for San Diego State men's basketball. He will be on the call at 7 p.m. And again, our pregame coverage will begin at 6 p.m. Now, the big news today in San Diego sports is something we actually reported on yesterday because we saw what Kevin Acee had written, which was that the expectation was Mike Shildt was going to get not just a contract extension through 2026, but actually a contract extension through 2027. We'll hear from AJ Preller and Mike Shildt coming up. I think the primary takeaway today isn't just the Shildt extension, it's that the Padres hope to secure his entire coaching staff, or most of his coaching staff, beyond or into 2025 and beyond, including their pitching coach, Ruben Niebla. That could be a bigger story than Mike Shildt, truthfully.
I listened to the entire press conference today on
the
Zoom call.
How was that?
It was good. It was long.
Did AJ's room look nice at the GM meetings?
It looked nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shilt's office looked nice. It was good. Had some pictures behind him of Peter and, you know, some playoff pictures and stuff. So
nice.
It was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I took away from that is it's a good bet that the entire coaching staff will return next year. All of them, including Ruben Niebla. They basically walked right up to that line of saying they will return without saying they will return. To me, I can read between the lines when AJ Preller speaks, and today when he spoke about the coaching staff and asked about Ruben Niebla and specifically, to me, they're all returning. That's just kind of like a no-brainer right now, and it's really just like dotting the I's and crossing the T's type of things as far as getting these contract extensions done for the coaching staff.
All right, so let's hear from AJ Preller. We can listen together. I have not heard the sound. This was AJ Preller earlier today during this Zoom press conference with Mike Shildt, talking about the coaching staff and their desire to bring them back for 2025.
And since the end of the season, it's really like parallel paths for our baseball ops group. When one path is obviously getting Mike done, and then Mike and myself. It's almost been every day, honestly, just sitting down, and it's a review mainly of our staff. And I've been around managers that don't really want to be a part of that at times. Like, to me, I think it's super healthy when you have general manager sit down and just like honestly can walk through, hey, like at the end of the day, the things that our staff brought to the table. I think both of us over the course of a couple of days, we were pretty, it was pretty easy to be on the same page in terms of bringing this group back, understanding here's the areas that we can grow in, and now being in the process of getting that group under contract. So I think from our standpoint, we'll have more to say over the course of the next few days and, the next week or so. But again, from Mike and my standpoint, we think we have a super talented group. And we've been having different conversations with everybody in that staff, and I think it's really about bringing that group back and building on the success from this year and having that continuity. That was important to Mike from day one of myself, and that's really what the last couple of weeks have been about. And we'll be able to announce that when we get the full staff under contract the next week or so.
At the moment, do you expect all of them to be back? And can you speak specifically to Ruben Niebla and where you are with him since his contract expired?
Yeah, no, I know, from Ruben's standpoint, again, he's done a great job with the pitching staff. He's been here 3 years now. Again, a lot of common ground from our organization, Mike, myself, Ruben. And again, I think it's clear he wants to be here. He knows we want him to be here. And, again, when we announce the staff, I think you'll see like we're going to reward the people that have performed. Ruben's been a big performer, and we're looking forward for him being a big part of the Padres organization for a long time.
So when I hear reward, I'm thinking multiple years for Niebla.
Yeah.
Because reward, I think it's one thing to re-sign 1 year. That's great. Bring the coaching staff back. To your point, it sounds like everyone's coming back. Well-deserved. Clearly is. But with Niebla, who's been here 3 years, and the pitching has carried the weight at times, he's done very good work with a lot of these guys. To me, I feel as if he has earned, kind of like Mike Shildt, he's earned an extension probably beyond 1 year.
Oh, absolutely. He's the guy that was brought in here before they hired Bob Melvin. Mm-hmm. That was the number one target for the coaching staff when Preller had to kind of remake everything 4 years ago. It was Ruben Niebla. Mm-hmm. He's done a really good job with this pitching staff. He's fixed a lot of guys. I think a lot of guys in the rotation and on the staff would credit Ruben Niebla for their success. He is going to be here for a long time, and he will get a contract extension. And it's about just when will that be announced and how long will it be? I think multiple years, absolutely. You could say another 3-year contract as well, or you line up with Mike Shildt. Well, you would line him up with Mike Shildt.
Would be 3 years.
So you give him a 3-year contract extension and line him up. And having continuity is so important. I talked about that yesterday, that after 2022, I thought, okay, finally, there's going to be some continuity here for the long haul. That didn't happen. Now, after the 2024 season, with how Mike and Preller and the clubhouse and everybody was kind of like all aligned on the same page and it equaled winning. Okay, now can we actually this time have continuity with everything that I just said? And I think that's going to happen here. And it's a good sign, and it feels good to know that they're going to make sure that there is continuity and everybody's on the same page.
Do you think any part of the way the season ended, especially offensively with the 24 consecutive scoreless innings, leaves any bitter taste in your mouth related to Victor Rodriguez?
None.
I agree with that. None. I agree, but I think there's been so much reaction to the way the year ended.
Yeah.
From Padres fans, baseball fans, Dodger fans. Their most anemic offensive performance of the year happened to come at the worst time. It was the final 2.5 games of their season. I thought overall, when I think back of the Padres 2024 season before the final 3 games of the postseason, I would think that they were like, I consider them to be hungry, scrappy, putting together those big innings, never out of games. And then all of a sudden it went silent. But I mean, considering how many hitting coaches they've gone through over the last decade, it would be foolish not to bring back Victor Rodriguez, because I don't think the offensive expectations were where they ended up finishing the regular season, which was one of the top 7 or 8 offenses probably in the sport during the regular season.
Yeah, I view what happened the last 24 innings of the season against the Dodgers more on the players than I do anything having to do with Victor Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
You can lead a horse to water. The horse doesn't drink it. Is that your fault, or is it
the horse's fault?
It's the horse's fault.
It's the horse's fault.
I think over the course of the season, the philosophy of the lineup and the hitters in the lineup was a really good one, compared to the previous year where they were awful.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Victor Rodriguez had a lot to do with that. I think infusion of guys that get on base and that, don't strike out a lot was also a big help as well. But the 24 innings to me is separate. That I don't even that's on the players, man. That is on the players for what happened to 24 innings there at the end of their season. The coaching staff, to me, I put, obviously the blame on Mike Shildt for a couple moves that he made in the postseason that I thought were really bad. But all in all, the entire coaching staff deserves to return. They deserve to get rewarded. And hopefully they can continue to build on what happened last year and not regress and not go back to an offense that in 2023 was horrible with runners in scoring position, horrible in extra innings, and struck out a lot.
What you just said about Victor Rodriguez is what I will continue to say about AJ Preller when it comes to getting the Padres into the postseason. His job is to get him there. I know it's cliche and we've heard it since Moneyball, but I truly believe it. I think if AJ Preller builds the roster that gets you to the postseason, 2024 is the best example. Loaded bullpen, good enough rotation, good enough lineup, especially 1 through 5. I thought Preller did his work to get them in a position to vie for the World Series. I don't put it on Preller that they didn't get over the hump against the Dodgers in that spot. No, I feel he had done the work, that there was a scenario where they could have won that series based on the moves that Preller had made.
I 100% agree with you. Now can he not do the exact same, but can he do something similar to that to give this team another good shot to, hopefully get to a World Series and win a World Series? That's the biggest question now in this offseason. He showed that he can do it. Can he back it up again? Can he do it multiple times? And can he do it 2 years in a row? Because that's going to be the thing here. I continue to say, the ups and downs, making the postseason one year, missing the postseason next year, it drains you because you're so all over the place. And it is as Mike Shildt hates hearing, roller coaster feel. You don't want that as an organization. You want a steady uphill roller coaster that eventually you'll get to the top and it will be great because you're in a World Series and hopefully you win one.
I just want to keep going up. I want it to be the highest roller coaster in the history of the world.
Just keeps going.
Just want to keep climbing,
just keep going up,
all the way to the top. Yeah. All right, we're going to hear from Mike Shildt on the other side. He was asked about how his vision aligns with AJ Preller's vision over not just 2025, but all the way through 2027. Also, we have Aztec tickets for next week to give away. San Diego State back home Tuesday night at 7 p.m. We'll give away tickets, 2 pairs of tickets here today. We're outside Viejas Arena for the season opener for San Diego State. It's the Aztecs and UC San Diego at 7 p.m. Wayne McKinney, if you missed our conversation, we'll play it back for you coming up later this hour at 3:45. It's Jon and Jim from outside Viejas Arena. Stay with us. All right, Jon and Jim back with you outside House Arena, San Diego State. UC San Diego coming up at 7 p.m. Pre-game coverage at 6. We'll catch up with Wayne McKinney. If you missed our conversation with the USD transfer guard, we'll play that for you at 3:45. We have Aztec tickets to give away in the 3 and 4 o'clock hours today as well. Did you realize, Jim, the election may be over, but the news does not stop? Don't miss a minute. Take us with you on the free iHeartRadio app in the car or on the go to stay informed about the latest developments. Just open the app and search AM 600 for Kogo's coverage.
Yeah,
we don't
not
have
here.
coverage here.
No.
Always live.
Nope.
Open the free iHeartRadio app and start listening. So if you're looking for more information, the next election is like 2 years from now. AM 600 or
it's never too early, John.
App. Never too early. It's like Halloween. It's coming. Yeah. It's coming back. You know?
How does it affect LeBron's legacy?
Not maybe significantly. They're talking about it right now on Kogo.
I'm sure they are.
AJ Preller and Mike Shildt both met with the media over Zoom. Preller in Texas at the GM meetings. Now, we heard from Preller a few moments ago about bringing back the coaching staff, presumably. Let's hear from both. Let's see. This is going to be Mike Shildt, asked about the vision that he's discussed between himself and AJ Preller regarding the organization moving forward.
You know, we got done with the season, and I know everybody in the organization was a little bit of, in a little bit of a rightful stupor about, how it ended. And then you look up and realize that, a lot of good things took place and started the process working towards next year, as AJ mentioned. And, AJ and ownership came to me about making sure that I felt valued and appreciated, and we were going to do this together moving forward for a longer period of time that was secured. And, obviously I was very, very happy about that. Relative to your question about what that vision looks like, I'm sure AJ can chime in as well, but, it's, we're going to start meetings, tomorrow with our pitching group, Thursday, Friday with our big league staff and player development and AAA group to talk about what we just got through experiencing, what we want to capture from it, and then how we're going to move it forward individually and collectively with our pitching. We'll do our defense and base running, infield, outfield, base running and catching over that Saturday and Sunday. And then we'll do our hitting group on Monday and Tuesday. So the vision is really just a continual process of what we've been able to do and some of the process that we've been able to put in place. The one thing that I was able to share with the staff right after the last game we played, and I said, the good news is we covered a lot of ground, and we've got a lot of process that we feel good about. We partner with our players, most importantly, that they're a part of the process and how we operate and how we compete and how we win. But the really good news is that we're just getting started. Those processes still have a lot more depth to them. There's a lot more tentacles for them. So, and again, the last wrap-up point is the partnership with the players. I've been able to have lunch or dinner with a lot of the players are still in town. Like I said, this group's still hungry, but also the players and the staff, we all recognize together that there's a lot more meat on the bone, and we're about to go chewing on it.
So wait, he said that he's met with players for lunch or dinner and the group is still hungry. Is he saying literally?
Like, did they not eat enough food?
They're hungry? Because then he was talking about meat on the bone. So where do you think they're going out to eat? When Mike Shildt takes, name the player. When Mike Shildt takes Michael King out to eat, where are they going?
Steakhouse. For sure.
All of them like that? That just covers them all, or is it dependent on the player?
Probably covers them all.
Well, you ain't going to take a vegan to a steakhouse, John.
Yeah, but there's no vegans on the team, probably.
Well,
I don't know where they're going to
where's
dinner,
he taking
John?
the backup right fielder?
He's
Lockridge.
Brandon Lockridge?
Right.
You got his name right. Congratulations.
Yeah, where are they going?
They're not going out to dinner, John.
They're just doing lunch?
No, they don't even do lunch. They do a pass-by of like, hey, what's up?
Oh, here, I got you some Halloween candy.
Yeah, there's some food in the
break room.
The break room. I'll talk to you later,
pasta.
buddy. Yeah.
Some Dippin' Dots.
Yeah. I mean, Mike Shildt can speak.
Oh, man, he can.
He can go on for a while.
He's a character.
It was funny. The press conference started, and Preller had his opening statement, and then Shildt talked about how, appreciative he was and grateful he was to get this contract extension.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because he said, final thing. And then he would say something. And he'd go, oh, and last thing. And then he would say something. And then he'd go, oh, actually, last thing. And then he would say something. That went on for like 10 minutes.
I
10
can
minutes.
see that. Yeah.
And I mean, hey, look, he got the job done in the regular season, not the postseason, but he built this team into one of the best, or at least on the field, he helped with it becoming one of the best teams in the regular season, a team that a lot thought we're going to, go to the World Series, and he deserves his contract 100%.
Do you think he has a rap at this point that he is a good regular season manager, but isn't the same in the postseason because of his lack of success? I mean, it's limited. Lost in a one-game wild card to the Dodgers as a Cardinals manager. Lost here with a one-game to none lead in a best-of-3 series in 2020. Beat the Braves this year, but lost a 2-1 series lead. So he's lost 2 series leads.
I think it's a small sample size.
Yeah, relatively. Not the smallest, but
how
many trips is it? Is it 4 trips or 3 to the postseason for him?
I want to say it's 3.
What's up, Nick? How you doing, man?
Because 2019 he was an interim, 2018 he was an interim manager.
They did not make it, right? The 1 year he was an interim, they didn't make it. When they
was either 2018 or look it up.
Okay.
I want to say he's been a manager for 3.5 seasons, and he's made the postseason 3 times.
2018 they were 41 and 28 in the second half. They did not go to the postseason.
Okay.
2019, 91 and 71.
They went to the postseason.
And they were 3 and 6 in the postseason.
So they made it to the NLCS.
Right. Okay. Then 2020 lost 2 games to 1 here in San Diego, COVID year.
Mm-hmm.
2021 lost a 1-game playoff in Los Angeles to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
2024 won a round, lost the second. So he's actually won 2 series.
Yeah.
He did it with the Cardinals in 2019. He did it this year.
Yeah, I don't think we have a big enough sample size for Mike Shildt to put that label on him.
Do you know his postseason record?
Let me think off the top of my head. So 3,
it's like 5 series or something.
4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna go 7 and 12.
That's a really good guess. He's 8 and 12, which isn't horrific. It's a 400 winning percentage. Again, it's the postseason. It's hard to win, but
it is.
Yeah,
and sometimes it takes managers a long time.
And Dave Roberts.
Yeah, Dave Roberts. I mean, Boch, like when he won his first World Series, was he considered like a
good point.
A postseason savant or a guy that made all the right moves? No, he wasn't. But it's about getting into the tournament as many times as possible. And hopefully one of these times you can pull it off. I think Mike Shildt is a really, really good regular season manager. I think in the postseason, there are some moves you probably would like back, obviously, but there's still not a big enough sample size to label Mike Shildt as like a failure in the postseason.
I agree with that. But I asked the question. All right, we're going to hear from both Mike Shildt and AJ Preller. I just think it's a reasonable question, but he's had some success. He's had some failures in the postseason. That's typical at the highest level in October. All right, so what about the free agents that were on the Padres in 2024? I'm talking about Jurickson Profar and Hassan Kim and Kyle Higashioka. We'll hear from both Mike Shildt and AJ Preller on the direction with those free agents coming up next on Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by the Jim Preller real estate team. Padres made it official today as they announced the signing and contract extension for Mike Shildt, 2 years until the 2027 season. And tonight is the season opener for the Aztecs as they take on UCSD right here at VA House Arena, 7 p.m. tip time, 6 p.m. pregame. You can listen to the game and all the action right here on San Diego Sports 760. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Preller has the buyer. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
It's the Sean Lewis Coaches Show tomorrow at 6 p.m. The head coach sits down with me and Rich to recap last week's game at Boise and preview Friday night against New Mexico. The Sean Lewis Show on your home, the Aztec San Diego Sports 760. Now, here's the thing: I've got a really busy day, unlike Jim. So this is my day. This is my day. Okay. I already have connected with Sean Lewis. Yeah, there's a show tomorrow night. But okay, so we did that for an hour earlier.
Okay.
Then we have this show from 3 to 6.
Okay.
Then I have pregame from 6 to 7.
Okay.
Then I'm calling the game on Your View.
Okay.
You can listen to it on San Diego Sports 760.
Uh-huh.
Then I'm doing postgame on the radio.
Okay.
So from 3 to 10, I'm on the air.
It's not bad.
So I went to Trader Joe's and I got myself some food. I got myself some chips.
Hold on, let's look what you got here.
There's nothing really. There's just chips.
You have cornbread crisps with sweet and salty corn. It's a sweet and salty cornbread snack.
It makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
I was in a hurry.
What else you got here? You got some dark chocolate,
like Reese's peanut butter cups,
sunflower seed buttercups,
and seaweed. And I got myself seaweed.
And then this is what it says. It's roasted seaweed with sea salt.
Right. So anyway, I was eating the sea salt at a break, or the seaweed, and I said, "Jim, would you like one?" He said, "Yeah." It's like
big
dried
mistake on my part.
Seaweed.
Big mistake on my part.
It's like a 3-inch by 3-inch like square sheet of seaweed.
Yeah.
And Jim took the smallest bite, like a cat would nibble, like little tiny.
It was a little bigger. It was a
beansy.
little bigger than a nibble.
Okay. Well, you took just a portion.
It was a half a bite. It was a half
a bite. And he freaked out and like spit it out and took the piece of seaweed and like threw it on the ground. He's like, "What did you just give me?" And that's the whole story.
It tasted like ocean water.
Yeah, because that's where seaweed grows.
And it was disgusting to me. That's okay. You want to go eat ocean water? What is this? Seaweed?
That's
Gross.
some seaweed. That's some seaweed.
It was not my cup of tea. It did not taste good at all to me.
Okay.
And
it's acquired.
It's a very acquired taste that I think you might be the only person that has maybe likes it.
70470 started with team. All right, let's hear more from AJ.
Do you
Preller.
like seaweed?
Do you like seaweed? Let's hear more from Mike Shildt and AJ Preller. You'll hear from Shildt first, then Preller. What about these free agents? Jurickson Profar, Ha-Seong Kim, Kyle Higashioka. What about those players returning? They're now eligible for free agency. Let's hear from Shildt and Preller.
You talked a lot about the continuity on the staff and then the core of players that you have in place, but there are a couple free agents. I'm just wondering kind of I know it's not your purview necessarily, but your outlook on guys like Profar and Kim, who obviously meant a lot, and Higashioka, that meant a lot to the team last season, and whether you would like them back in San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I defer to AJ on that. I mean, there's a business side to it. There's a lot of pieces that, are part of that puzzle. I mean, I loved all three of those guys. I mean, they did a phenomenal job for us. Very grateful for them. They're one of the reasons that I'm getting this extension. So I'm thankful to them, as like I said, to all the players, but I'll defer to AJ on any of the, particulars on that.
So then my next question for AJ, obviously, Profar and Kim were not extended qualifying offers. Can you kind of go into that decision-making process and then just kind of your outlook on their off seasons and whether you'd like to bring them back?
Yeah, no, they're Profar and Kim, they've been a big part of this thing. Jurickson at different points in time in the last few years, and obviously he had the great year this year. So, he's somebody we're definitely interested in talking to, and he's a real part of what we're doing. And I've already extended out and just started those conversations. But again, he's somebody that he's earned the right to be a free agent. So we'll kind of see where that takes us. Same thing with Ha-Seong. I think Ha-Seong, I think, from his standpoint, the injury, as well, that he'll come back from that, but that's all part of the calculus. And, kind of that's what this week is for here in at the GM meetings. We've been preparing for this, and this is kind of the start of the off season. So, ultimately decided not to put the qualifying offer. That's a $20+ million number on a 1-year deal. Just feel like, that wasn't quite the direction we wanted to go to on a 1-year situation. But it doesn't close the door on either player. I think, now we get into the free agent period, and we're spending the week trying to see what our options are, what things look like, getting a lot of information, from a roster standpoint. And Jerickson and Ha-Sung are going to be two guys that are going to be part of our conversations all off season.
How do you read into what he said about length and terms of a qualifying offer? Like, are you reading into that? Because I am
too. They don't view those two guys anywhere close to what the qualifying offer would be.
And they want him for multiple years, I think.
And they have to make it work. They have to make it make sense. You can't give Jerickson Profar a 3-year, $45 million deal because based off of his last season. You have to know that his last season was a career year and that likely that won't happen again. And the player that you would likely get for a long-term deal of, say, 3 years is going to be more like the player he was the previous 3 seasons, not last year.
But I thought what he was saying was, listen, a 1-year term at that dollar figure doesn't make sense for us. But hey, if you want more money, we could give these players second or third years. We want a lower AAV.
Right.
You might get more than $20 million, Ha-Sung Kim, from us. We're looking for a second or third year. Jerickson Profar, you might get more than $20 million. Maybe we'll give you 3 for 30. Mm-hmm. But that lowers the AAV from 20 in a qualifying offer to 10 in 3 years for 30. That's how I kind of read into it, at least with Kim. If Kim is coming off an injury and misses any time, to me, a 1-year deal doesn't make a lot of sense. But if you can get him for multiple years and lower the AAV, I think it's something that's worthy of at least consideration.
And this franchise is really big on not signing guys to 1-year deals with really crazy high AAV.
True, yeah.
They have been known, and they've done it, and they've shown it, to give out long-term contracts. Maybe that was a Peter Seidler thing, but still, look at the long-term contracts on this roster. The AAVs, they're not crazy high, but they will become an issue as these players get older. I think for Jerickson Profar, Ha-Sung Kim, you tell me right now what player has to come back. You got to pick one. To me, it's Jerickson Profar over Ha-Sung Kim just because of a couple factors, the injury and, the fact that Ha-Sung Kim is going to get multiple offers, I think, from other teams. That is going to drive up his price. Jerickson Profar, I don't know if he's going to get the same interest that Ha-Sung Kim will get. So with that, it might make it easier to re-sign Jerickson Profar over Ha-Sung Kim for a number that you feel comfortable with, and for a number that you're sitting there, in 2 years, if he's hitting 205, he's like, oh, he's hitting 205 and he's making $14 million a year. That's an issue.
No, I agree with you. It can't be. I think if Profar is going to have to meet the Padres somewhere on multiple years. He probably can get more dollars elsewhere. If he wants to be here, he's going to have to meet the Padres. I'm not saying just, take the worst deal possible, but if you could get 3 for 36 somewhere, but you can get 3 for 30 here, are you willing to do that if you're Jerickson Profar? I'm with you. I've been saying that I think Profar provides more value to the Padres, but then again, we had Mike Farron from MLB Network Radio on. He's like, they have to solve the shortstop issue. They can do what they've done, but Xander Bogaerts is getting older. He's not a good defensive shortstop. They have to solve shortstop. And if you have to solve shortstop, is Ha-Sung Kim part of that solution? Is it easier to solve shortstop or easier to solve left field? I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know the answer to that either. But if they want both of those players back, they're going to have to draw a line in the sand, and I don't think they should cross it, because while they're good players, good complementary pieces, and Profar, I think you could look at his value being greater than a Ha-Sung Kim's value. Potentially, like Ha-Sung Kim, yeah, if you want to go, well, he's a shortstop, he's a Gold Glove. Okay, I think Profar brings the intangibles that has made him a pretty important piece here in San Diego. But at the same time, you can't go crazy with this because these guys aren't, I feel like, worth the projected numbers that are being thrown out there. I hate to say it. Love Jerkson Profar. Dude ain't worth $15 million a year. Love Ha-Seong Kim. Dude ain't worth $18 million a year. Some team might give them that, and great for them. That would be incredible for them. And if they get that offer, then go take it.
Yep.
But here in San Diego, to build a roster like you had this past year, or just get close to that, and build competitive roster that is more complete than not, you can't give Profar and you can't give Ha-Seong Kim those type of numbers.
Yeah, you can't reach. I completely agree with that. So more reaction coming up between now and 6 p.m. to Mike Shildt and AJ Preller meeting with the media. Mike Shildt has been extended through 2027. On the other side, we'll turn our focus back to Viejas Arena. We're outside of it. At 7 o'clock tonight, San Diego State will take on UC San Diego. We had a chance to catch up with Wayne McKinney III, who's a San Diegan, who transferred from USD. He's entering his final year of collegiate eligibility. He'll do it for San Diego State. So you'll hear from Wayne McKinney. And after that conversation, your chance to win 2 free tickets to next Tuesday's home game for San Diego State men's basketball here at Viejas Arena. Wayne McKinney, Aztec senior guard. That's next on Jon and Jim. All right, hey guys, it is Jon and Jim, and we've been telling you about our friends over at Jamul Casino all fall long. It's the perfect spot to enjoy football season from. They've got all the games on, but they have great promotions around the NFL as well. In fact, every single Monday throughout the NFL season, you have a chance to win big over at Jamul Casino.
Yeah, with 10 winners every hour at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and 9 p.m., your odds are better than ever. Plus, you're going to earn entries all month long by playing and getting 2-time entries on Tuesdays with at least $500 in cash for all winners and a chance to win up to $25,000 in cash.
So Jamul has great food and drink options, including Tony Gwynn Sports Pub. They have much more than that. But at Tony Gwynn Sports Pub, again, amazing food offerings, great drinks. They have all the games on the TVs. They have great Tony Gwynn sports memorabilia as well. And then at Jamul, they have endless dining going on 5 nights a week, including this weekend with a Saturday surf and turf buffet. You got to check it out. They've gone over the top with great succulent steaks, delectable seafood, and more.
Yeah, Jamul Casino is the place to be, especially Tony Gwynn Sports Pub, which we have talked about. Great atmosphere, great food. They have a bunch of TVs for every single sporting event that you would want to watch. Jamul Casino, it's fun above all else.
Hi, San Diego Sports 760 has 13 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday with the Inflation Vacation. This is nationwide keyword at the top of the hour. From 6 a.m. through 6 p.m. Then enter it at sportssd.com. All right, we're outside Viejas Arena, Jim. Did you realize that? Because you asked me earlier, where are we? You said, where is this to my photo? We're on campus in San Diego
that's my
State.
bit.
It's a really good one.
Yeah, I know you should.
I should use it?
Shut up and let me continue to do it.
You really should shut up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we caught up with Wayne McKinney III yesterday, who's a great story. He's out of Coronado High School. He spent the first part of his career at USD, had a really good career over at USD for the Toreros. He is now transferred to San Diego State. After this conversation, we're going to give away tickets, by the way, for San Diego State basketball next Tuesday night. But we started the conversation with Wayne asking him about the experience from the exhibition game last week for San Diego State.
It was such a surreal experience, having such a home crowd there for us. And I know it wasn't even as full as usual, but just having someone there and people in the crowd cheering you on, rooting you on, it just gives you so much energy. It was such a great experience, and I was really excited. And I'm ready to do that all year this year.
Wayne, going into this season, a lot of moving parts, a lot of new faces, including yourself. Reese Waters is down for a little while. What do you anticipate your role to be to start off this season? What do you hope your role? How do you hope your role evolves the entirety of the year?
Just being an all-around guy, whatever it takes for us to get wins, and place me on the court wherever we best succeed. Whether that's place me on the best defender for a majority of the game, and that may take away from offense, and that'll be okay. Or it's some nights I might have to score a little bit more, whatever helps, and getting steals, deflections, taking charges, whatever the team needs. I'm willing to do anything that we need to win.
Wayne McKinney III with us right now. San Diego State, UCSD tomorrow night, Viejas Arena at 7 p.m. Pregame coverage on San Diego Sports 760 beginning at 6 p.m. Now, you've played UCSD. I know I was just looking at a box score earlier today. Last year, UCSD, I think at Lion Tree and La Jolla, they beat you 69-63. They gave the Aztecs an incredible game last year at Lion Tree. I think you scored 20-plus last year in that game against UCSD. So you're familiar. What's it going to take tomorrow night to get a win at home?
Just grit. We're going to have to play all 40 minutes. We're going to have to be dialed in, locked in on our game plan, execute on offense, and do whatever it takes, dive on loose balls and all that. It's a really good team over there. They've been developing for a couple of years now. This year they're finally tournament eligible. So it's going to mean even more to them to beat us this year. So we just got to be ready, be dialed in, and do what we do, and come out with a win.
How's it been like for you being coached by Brian Dutcher? You haven't even played a regular game yet, but so far this summer, the coaching staff, your experience here at San Diego State so far, how has that been for you?
It's been amazing. Playing under such a great staff under Coach Dutch, he's helped me so much in terms of defense, honestly, and offensive. He's telling me to get downhill, how to be a better point guard, what to look for, and what to look for defensively as well. He's just helped me with my IQ in all aspects of the game.
Where do you feel as if, and Wayne McKinney is with us right now, San Diego State senior guard? Obviously, like Jim said, there's been injuries in the preseason, so you haven't really played fully as a team together for a lot, right? Nick Boyd was out. Reese Waters is out. Players have dealt with bumps and bruises. How long will it take for the team to be fully acclimated, so to speak, and, playing at maybe their best basketball? Is that going to take a period of time, or you feel like you're positioned to play well from day one?
Well, the good thing about it is that whether one guy went down, we got another one back. So everybody knows each other's game. And we're all, when everybody gets back together and we all put it together, it's going to be something really special. But as for right now, we still know how Reese plays. When Nick was out, he practiced with us for a few times, and then we got him back. And it's been great to have. So, we might take a little bit of time, getting us all back together, getting in shape, conditioning and all that. And then chemistry-wise, we're perfectly fine. Everybody on the team, we all spend a lot of time together. We all hang out together, and it's such a spectacular group to be around.
A lot of Aztecs fans are wondering what they're going to see from one of your teammates this year, Magoon Guath, because, he has a lot of potential, 7-footer. No one's really seen him on the court yet other than the scrimmage the other night, but being around practice every day and practicing with him, just describe what kind of player he is on the court, what kind of teammate he is to play with.
type of player. He can do it all. You know, he gets to the rim, has a nice three-ball, mid-range, three-level scorer for sure. And then defensively, he has length. He's able to block shots, get deflections, get steals, really, you know, mess up the offense. He's very important to our team, and he's going to be a force for years to come. And he has potential to be a really great player.
Wayne McKinney III with us right now, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. I mentioned it off the top, out of Coronado High School, played at the University of San Diego, now across town to San Diego State. How much pride do you take in being out of San Diego? Because there's not a ton of Division I men's basketball student athletes out of San Diego, and here you are out of San Diego playing at San Diego State.
I take a lot of pride in that. I love the city I'm from, and I rep it everywhere I go, so being that I've never left the city and throughout my college play, it means the most to me. You know, every game I'm putting on for San Diego, and I just want to keep doing that.
What's your adrenaline level going to be like tomorrow night? Is that something you need to harness or be aware? I mean, right, because it's going to be crazy. It's going to be full. You're playing at Viejas. You're wearing a different uniform. You're playing another team in the city. Like, how do you manage all that, or do you need to?
I think it's good to have that adrenaline level, especially going into games like that. Also knowing how to tame it and when to release it. You know, not going out and being too buck wild, but going out and playing aggressive and smart. It's a very important game for us, and it's a very important game for them. This is really the ownership of the crown of the city. So everybody wants to come in there and do what they can in order to get the win. And for me, the adrenaline level would be nothing but to do whatever it takes and go out there to get wins.
San Diego State, UCSD, season opener, banner raising night. The Aztecs will put a Sweet 16 banner into the rafters after last year and open up the 2024-25 season tomorrow night at 7 p.m. right here on San Diego Sports 760. Wayne, we're thrilled for you. We're excited for tomorrow night, and we'll catch up with you again soon, all right?
Thanks, man.
All right, thank you so much for having me.
All right, so that was Wayne McKinney yesterday. So by tomorrow night, we mean like tonight. San Diego State, UC San Diego. If you want tickets for next Tuesday, the second game of the year for the Aztecs against Occidental, Tuesday at 7 p.m., you can win them right now by calling 877-767-4760. First caller has 2 free tickets to see San Diego State and Occidental, Jim. 877-767-4760. I'll give Jim a pair of tickets as well if he can spell Occidental.
Also, I was about to tell you, no, I do not know where Occidental College is.
Well, obviously. Can you spell it?
Occidental. O-C-C-I-D-E-T-A-L.
D-E-T? No,
No.
Dent.
Dent. D-E-N-T. D-E-N-T. Is it D-N-T? D-E-N-T-A-L. D-E-N-T-A-L.
Next
Dent
Tuesday, 7 p.m. Tickets
Occidental.
Aztecs.com. You're an idiot.
No, I'm not.
All right, the wrap is on the way on the other side. We are here until 6 p.m. Pregame coverage from outside Viejas Arena will begin at 6 p.m. The Aztecs countdown to tip-off tonight at 6 p.m. Hour 2 of Jon and Jim is next.
O-C-C-I-D-E-N-T-A-L.
You're an idiot.
That's what I said. All right, this update is brought to you by the Jim Preller Real Estate Team. San Diego State's basketball season gets underway tonight with the home opener against UCSD. 7 p.m. tip-off, 6 p.m. pregame right here on San Diego Sports 760. And the Padres made it official this morning, announcing their 2-year contract extension with Mike Shildt through the 2027 year. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You get no phone call, just a text. Jim Preller has the buyer. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of Jon and Jim. We're outside Viejas Arena on a gorgeous day. It is the Aztec season opener tonight inside Viejas. San Diego State, UC San Diego, tip-off at 7. We will have coverage for you beginning at 6 p.m. with our official pregame countdown to tip-off. By the way, if you want to go to next Tuesday's game against Occidental, which Jim spelled wrong, we do have another pair of tickets to give away. We'll do that between now and 6 p.m.
Maybe
you got close.
I mean, I missed the end. I had to write it down.
You got very close.
I said Occidental.
Do you remember last year's game?
Against Occidental?
No, against UC San Diego.
I do remember that game, John.
Okay.
Very well.
So what happened?
That game was a close game throughout. UCSD probably should have won that game, but Jalen Ledee had a tip in for the win at the buzzer.
Correct. The Aztecs trailed by 14 with under 7 minutes to play.
And you were there behind the bench. I remember seeing you.
I was maybe behind the bench or on the opposite side of the bench.
Kind of near the bench.
And they were really left for dead. I mean, 14 points on the road with under 7 minutes to play. Nothing was going their way. Miles Bird didn't play in that game, but due to a hip. A couple of guys had flu-like symptoms in that game, I think including Reese Waters. And San Diego State just stormed back. I mean, Lamont Butler hit a big 3, and then, like you said, in the waning seconds, Butler missed a 3, but Ledee in the right spot was able to put it back up and in literally at the buzzer. They went to the monitor. He got it off at 0.5 seconds. They won the game by 1. I always say this, and I guess this is true with sports, that if they don't win that game, they're nowhere near a 5 seed in the NCAA tournament, which means they might not be anywhere near the Sweet 16 last year.
Yeah, that game was a huge win for them. And you might say, oh, it's UCSD, whatever. Right. No, that game, like you said, if they don't win that game, it kind of not completely blows up their resume, but it's that big black mark on the resume when you look at it and go, ugh.
Right.
What is that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that would have hurt them definitely of their chances to make the tournament. And they didn't win the conference championship, and they didn't win the regular season conference championship. Yep. So, yeah, that was a big win for a lot of reasons, for sure.
No doubt about it. So, San Diego State, UC San Diego tonight. We'll see if the Aztecs can avoid a similarly close game tonight inside Viejas Arena. The Aztecs have never lost to UC San Diego. All right, we have those tickets to give away to Occidental. The Occidental game next Tuesday, but right now, let's get to this.
It's time for The Wrap, presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website.
Who lasts longer with the organization, AJ Preller or Mike Shildt?
Who lasts longer? I think they're in lockstep. So the answer is a tie.
Their final day is their final day together.
Preller doesn't get another opportunity to hire another manager. And if Preller's gone, then Shilt's gone. So they're in lockstep for the foreseeable future for however long this is going to be. Right now, Shildt 2027, Preller 2026. I think, like you said yesterday, you're right. They're going to align it so they're both matched with each other. But it's a tie. Once one goes, the other goes, and hopefully that doesn't happen for a long time.
When you say that AJ Preller doesn't get a chance to hire another manager, you mean he can't fire another manager to hire a manager?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because the reason I say that is Shilt's a young dude, right? And he's in his 50s.
Yeah, Shilt's
he's only
not
56,
old.
so he could manage for another 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying there. Yeah, I think that they're going to be in lockstep.
Yeah.
And I do think AJ Preller, we're going to find out. And I don't think anyone asked this today. Jim, where were you? You were on the Zoom conversation.
There was a lot going on.
Why didn't you ask if AJ Preller was now extended to match up with Mike Shildt's extension?
Because I was in a meeting and I had the press conference going on in the background, so I didn't have a chance to go ask a question.
What do you mean meeting?
Like a meeting of
Like you met with someone?
Yeah.
Hey, everything's flying away. It's a little windy out here.
I want to hold on to this, John.
Oh, okay. I didn't even notice if you can. Yeah. Okay.
He's
So
gonna blow away.
you were in a real meeting with like real people?
No, I was in a meeting with fake people.
What could they possibly want you to do in this meeting?
Good question.
All right, next question.
Who's going to lead the Aztecs in scoring tonight against UCSD?
Ooh,
I
love
like
that question.
I like that. He had a good scrimmage. Not scrimmage, sorry. Good exhibition game. I'll go with Nick Boyd. We saw him earlier today, walk by, said hi.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Nick Boyd tonight.
I'm going to go with Wayne McKinney III.
Okay.
Off the bench.
Perfect.
I think he scores 18 points tonight off the bench.
Do you think we'll fly away if this thing really
Honestly, our arms are going to like fall out of the socket because we're underneath the tent outside the AS Arena. We're holding the tent down because it's kind of windy.
Yeah.
Is this more of like a wind tunnel? Because I don't think it's overly windy today, is it?
It's a wind tunnel because
Yeah.
we're inside like a
Yeah.
little bowl area. Yeah,
It's kind of windy today.
A little windy. Okay.
it like comes and goes.
I think Wayne McKinney III scores 18 points tonight. How many points do you think Boyd scores in your leading the team in scoring?
17 points
17.
tonight.
Now, he only played 13 minutes in the exhibition, and he's coming off a foot. I wonder how many minutes he plays tonight.
He also scored 18 points in the exhibition, correct?
Yeah, 13 minutes.
So, there you
But
go.
how many minutes do you think he plays tonight?
Between 15 and 20.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking maybe up to 25.
Well, the hope is this game isn't close. So what they can do is cycle through the entirety of their roster.
we're holding on to our equipment here for dear life. I think we're good.
We're fine.
What do you think,
if it
Jim?
blows away, then it blows away.
If we blow away, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I think McKinney, you say Boyd, we both say 17 or 18 points. Next question.
Where will Juan Soto play next year?
Majors.
He'll play in the USA.
US, definitely.
US, yeah.
Not Toronto.
No, not Toronto. I'm going to go with the Yankees because the Yankees can't afford to lose him. After losing the World Series and how they lost that World Series, they also let Juan Soto walk, especially to the Mets. That fan base will absolutely ride. And they also kept around Aaron Boone, which Aaron Boone is definitely not liked in New York. That would just be a disaster offseason for them.
I think it's all noise, the Mets-Dodgers talk. I think it's all noise to drive up the price. I think Soto will get his. I am skeptical of $600 million. I think he gets 500 plus. I don't think he gets anywhere near 700. I personally am skeptical of $600 million, but it is the Yankees. If there's any organization that would do it, it probably is the Yankees. Here's my other question. Will any of it be deferred? Because when you get to that number, you are tying up a lot of resources. $600 million for 12 years is $50 million per year. So you're tying up some resources. So you say no on deferral. I hope they outlaw deferrals. Like you shouldn't be able to defer more than like 10%.
The deferral thing is crazy.
10% okay, but like you can't defer 90% of it.
But no one's ever deferred. That's only been a Shohei thing. And no one ever will do that again. You
Is
know?
that confirmed? But when you got money like
not
Soto,
confirmed, but it's just on a hunch.
Though. Soto's already he's 25, he's already put $100 million in the bank.
No Scott Boras client will ever defer that amount of money, ever.
Mark that. Next question.
We couldn't get to it yesterday because it didn't happen, but what was the biggest surprise of the initial college football playoff rankings?
Yeah, Jim, break these down for us.
Well, for me, John, first, it was a little shocking to me to see like BYU comes in at the 9, but they're a 4 because of their they would,
Be like conference
conference
top
champion.
4 conference champions get pods.
So that I had to like look at it like again, like wait, what?
Right.
Indiana, you could say is a little bit surprised. They're undefeated. They'd be on the road against Tennessee, but not a lot of people think Indiana is going to be a team that's going to run through the college football playoffs. They're a good team, but I don't know. Like, what for you? What is the biggest surprise, if there is any?
Honestly, to me, it is that brands matter, and let me explain why.
Yeah, they do.
Why is Penn State ranked ahead of Indiana? Penn State
Yeah.
does not have a hard strength of schedule. They've lost a game. Indiana hasn't. Indiana should be ahead of Penn State.
Has Penn State lost 2 games?
One game.
Oh, it was one
Ohio
game.
State.
That's right.
BYU's undefeated. They have decent wins. I think K-State is in there. They should be higher than Penn State. Alabama with 2 losses, okay, but 11th, higher than Boise State with 1 loss. So to me, here's what sticks out. This is where the sport is heading. You have 12 teams in this bracket, right?
Yeah.
4 of them Big Ten, 4 of them SEC, one Big 12, one ACC, Notre Dame, and Group of Five.
Yeah.
But think about that. Of the 12, 8 of them are Big 10 SEC. If you had any questions about how this is going to play out, that's how it's going to play out.
It will, and I heard Colin talking about this today, it will eventually go down the path of like AFC, NFC.
Yes.
He said
SEC Big 10.
SEC Big 10.
Yes.
And those two conferences will, make up the college football playoff system along with one Power 5 or Group of 5 school
in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, do I think that that's a great system? I say you expanded the playoff, let the thing play out. Why not see if Boise State will have a chance to win games in this expanded playoff? I want to see how it plays out. What if Boise State played a home game on the blue against Penn State or Notre Dame? That would be good theater.
Yeah.
We never see something like that. We love the NCAA tournament in men's basketball. Can we at least see it in football for a few years before we have a breakaway league with the SEC and the Big Ten, and we take our ball and go home? We don't want to play BYU. We don't want to play Boise.
Well, what I will say about the SEC and the Big Ten schools is this is what we wanted, and even if it is going to be SEC Big Ten schools,
yeah.
Well, guess what? It's not just a 4-team playoff anymore.
Right.
It's now a 12-team playoff, really 11 with the Group of 5 school in there, the best Group of 5 school as the 12 seed. But it's not going to be every year, and maybe it is. I don't know. But Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Texas, it's not going to be that anymore. You're going to have a
Indiana.
If you never, Indiana, BYU,
Tennessee,
Miami, they're all in. Notre Dame,
yep,
they're in, and it's now more of a fair system in my eyes to determine who the true national champion is, because it's a much harder path, and everybody that top 11, top 12 schools, they're in there to fight for a championship.
The one thing I push back on, you're like, it's the top 11 plus the Group of 5 team is going to be 12th. It shouldn't be that simple. And I'll give you the example. If Alabama has a third loss, and they make this field, they should not be ahead of a 12-1 Boise team that's only losses to the number 1 team in the country. Don't you agree? They lost to Vanderbilt.
I agree.
Why were they ahead?
But also,
they have a good win in Georgia.
Also, neutral field on the road, Alabama's favored in those games against Boise State.
Neutral field on the road.
If Alabama traveled to the blue, and if they had a neutral site game, Alabama's favored in every scenario, every situation against Boise State.
But again, what about resume? That's like saying that the Chiefs are better than the Chargers. But the Chiefs won 11-6, and the Chargers won 12-5. But the Chargers won 12-5.
Yeah, but they also didn't win their division potentially, and they had to go on the road.
Mind blowing. All right, on the other side, here's what we're going to do. We're going to hear from Tom Brady. He was on San Diego Sports 760 today talking about the Kansas City Chiefs.
The what?
Tom Brady on the Chiefs right here on San Diego Sports 760. If you missed it, you'll hear it next. San Diego Sports 760, Aztecs, UC San Diego at 7, pregame coverage at 6. Jon and Jim with you. Beautiful, beautiful. I know it's only 4:20 in the afternoon, but the sun is setting.
I guess.
Right?
I guess now with the sun going down literally in like 5 minutes.
You're so mad about this. Like,
yes.
There's nothing we can do about it.
I know we can't do anything about it, and I'll accept it.
Yeah.
But I just want to complain about it for a couple of days, and then we'll get over it, and then spring will come, and hope spring is eternal, and then it will be brighter outside for longer, and then I'll be happy.
Good breakdown. Good breakdown. The days are still getting shorter. Do you know that?
Yeah, every day until December 21st.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they get longer.
Yeah, it's really weird.
But in actuality, they're all 24 hours.
Yes, I know that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Tom Brady was on San Diego Sports 760. And you're thinking, well, how did that happen? Well,
Who set that up?
We carry the herd.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
With Colin Cowherd. Of course, Tom Brady now calling games for Fox, and the herd is on Fox Sports Radio. So Tom Brady earlier, this is interesting. We've spent a good amount of time on the Chiefs. Obviously, they've won 3 of the last 4 Super Bowls. They've won consecutive. They've beaten the Niners a couple of times in the Super Bowl, Jim. But the Chiefs are 8-0. And this is an interesting line of questioning from Colin Cowherd that Tom Brady pushes back on. Take a listen to this.
Go back to your Randy Moss team. Boom. You knew very early it's special. But did you ever have a team that won a Super Bowl, but in the middle of a season, you didn't quite know what the offensive identity was? Because that's what I watched when I watched the Chiefs.
I actually think they do have a great offensive identity. I think look, the game's about winning. We talk about points, you talk about, yards, and you talk about penalties and defensive stops. To me, at the end of the game, do you have more points than the other team? That's the maturity of a great team and a great organization. I played on a lot of teams. Some were a lot of offensive strengths. Some had a lot of defensive strengths. Some years we were kind of middle of the pack at both, but we played well situationally. 3rd down, red area, 2-minute. Every year, that's the best part about the NFL is the constant transition, the constant change. You see they add DeAndre Hopkins at the trade deadline. So it's like, in the end, when you have Patrick Mahomes and it's a 1-score game, everyone's always betting on the Chiefs. Now, can someone get away from the Chiefs? I don't know, because that defense plays so well. But I don't think Patrick Mahomes is a lesser player because he doesn't have 25 touchdowns at this point. It's just he's not playing with guys that can produce that from the receiver position, so that naturally Patrick's job is to, and I covered him a few weeks ago when I said the job of the quarterback is to manage all the variables of the game and the season, injuries, weather, the rhythm of the offense, and then ultimately go out there and make the plays that put you in a position to win. And that's what winners do. And certainly Patrick is that. And then he's got Andy Reid there, who's as great of a coach, in NFL history. He's on the kind of the Mount Rushmore of coaches. So you have this consistency of this organization from owner, general manager, coach, quarterback, and then to me, a defensive coordinator in Spags, that the way that defense plays puts them in a position to win every single week. So it's obviously they can be beat. There's probably games where they could have been beat this year, but every game is decided by a few plays. And the reality of the Chiefs team is they always find a way to make the plays when it matters.
All right. So that's kind of new information that Tom Brady says the point is to outscore opponents.
Oh,
yeah. It's like what you told Sean Lewis. You said, hey, listen, if you contain Ashton Genty and if you outscore Boise State, you'll be in good shape.
Is that what happens when you score more points than the other team? You win the game?
Do you believe Brady when he says stuff like that, though? Like, hey, we're just going to manage everything to outscore the other team by 1, and that's what winners do. Is that really how he approached it?
Here's the thing with Brady. I thought his first game broadcasting, it was kind of like a gimme. Like, hey, we'll give you this game.
Of course.
You're probably nervous. It's your first time doing this. Okay. Second game, I thought he was really good. And I didn't listen to the whole game, but I listened to parts of it. He did a 49ers game against the Chiefs recently, and I thought he was awful. And I think this past weekend, he was even worse.
Why was he awful during the Niners Chiefs?
He just brings nothing to the table that I find interesting or compelling that someone else could do the same exact job as him, other than, oh, your name is Tom Brady. And I really think that him owning the Raiders now, or being the part owner of the Raiders, he has like these, boundaries that he has to abide by that he can't cross because he's now part owner of the Raiders. And I'm like, can you get me more personality here? I think his breakdown of the Chiefs, yeah, it makes sense. Obviously, hey, they're scoring more points than their team. They're winning games. But I think you have to, like, sometimes, Brady, you need to maybe throw out a couple truth bombs out there and say, hey, look, they're a team that they're not blowing people out. They're winning very close games, and that's good. But they also have an offense that, is not performing at the level that you would expect them to perform at. And their defense, while their defense is really good, their metrics don't put them as the best team in the NFL. Their metrics put them as like a middle team with a really, really good defense.
So to your point, just total yardage this year, Kansas City is the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th best team in total offense. It almost surprised me they're that high.
Mm-hmm.
You know who's second? Your Niners. Their total defense, let's see, is good. 5th.
Mm-hmm.
5th best total defense in the league. So, a good offense, not elite.
Yeah.
A very good defense, not elite. Is that going to be – here's the thing. It doesn't matter once they get in the ring when it matters.
I know. That's the thing, is they find ways to win. I don't consider them a great team, even though they're undefeated right now. I don't.
Interesting.
But the thing is, they find ways to win. They get, some calls that go their way more often than not. And they make the play when they need to make it the most.
Wait, they're a good team. They get calls. They get more calls than everyone else. That's why they're where they are?
I didn't say that. I said they get some calls sometimes that go their way.
Every team does.
Yeah, and you gotta, whoever's facing the Chiefs, you can't let any of that stuff rattle you, because beating the Chiefs is going to just be difficult from the like aura standpoint. Like the Chiefs have this aura about them with Patrick Mahomes. You could have a horrible season, you could throw 20 interceptions, and it's still Patrick Mahomes on the other side of the football, and that's a scary thing to face when you're the opposing team. So they upgraded with D-Hop. They have Kareem Hunt in the backfield. Pacheco is probably going to come back at the end of the year. He might be out for the whole season. I don't know. Rashee Rice is out for the whole season. But their defense is still good. Andy Reid's still good.
Great.
And Patrick Mahomes could have a good game.
Do a Chiefs wrap-up show. Is the reason why you truly hate Tom Brady is because he was ripping Brock Purdy throughout that game?
No, I just thought that I think that Tom Brady, I swear to God, when I listen to Tom Brady, I'm just like, blah.
Because Purdy was awful in that game.
He was. I agree.
And Brady was like, this guy is awful.
Like, yeah, say that. He didn't say that.
He didn't say that. I'm kidding. All right. Jim has some Scott Boras isms from today. At the GM meetings in Texas, Scott Boras holding court. We'll share some of that with you on the other side. Plus, we have the latest on the Juan Soto market. Are the Dodgers included in that or not? We're outside Viejas Arena until 6 p.m. We have Aztec tickets for next Tuesday night at Viejas to give away as well. This is Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by the Jim Preller real estate team. We'll start with the Aztecs. Their season gets underway tonight to San Diego, 7 p.m. tip-off, 6 p.m. pregame right here on San Diego Sports 760. And the Padres announced this morning a 2-year contract extension for Mike Shildt through the 2027 season. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Preller is the buyer. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
All right, Jon and Jim back with you. We are here until 6 outside Viejas Arena. We're actually here longer than that by we. I mean, pregame coverage myself and Ben Fletcher from 6 to 7 at the game right here on San Diego Sports 760. Headliner on the call. On the wrap-up show, we are with you all afternoon in Oakland and UC San Diego. Now, earlier today, at the GM meetings in Texas, Scott Boras told court, right? That was the media talking about Juan Soto's future and more.
Yeah, he has like these. I've been involved in the Scott Boras scrum at the winter meetings before. It was disastrous.
In what way?
Just crowded. It was a nothing burger, and for some reason, everyone flocked to him, knowing like. But he says funny things. Does he say funny things? Yeah, like the volcano of lava. That type of. That's what I mean. Yeah, he has Boras. Yeah, and it can be eye rolling. They're very cringe. And they're his thing, and you know, with a lot of his top free agents, he has one-liner for them. And today, he held court at the GM meeting. Now, he does the GM meetings, and I guess in the winter. Oh, yeah, of course. So, here's some Boris-isms from the GM. I do. So, Scott Boras on Blake. Yeah. Absolutely. The Snelling salts have created a lot of rifts. The market has definitely awakened to Blake Snell.
Ooh, I like that.
Whoa.
Okay.
Pete Alonso, another one of his clients. We hear a lot about the bear market for power hitting first baseman. For Pete's sake, it's the polar opposite.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
What's so stupid?
Who's this guy, Mike Shildt?
No, he's not. Corbin Burns.
Yes.
He continues to be a Corbin copy of his previous seasons. He's the foundation of having a number one.
Did he really say this stuff?
Yeah.
I need the audio.
I can't find the audio of it. The only audio that I found was related to Juan Soto, but he didn't use any like Soto-isms that I know of. Right over there, buddy. Alex Bregman.
Bregman.
Yeah,
what did Alex Bregman have to say?
He's provided the Astros with the infusion of championship blood. Everything about him is AB positive.
Or metal, like a trash can.
That's it.
That is it? Nothing on Soto?
Not that
we'll
I
have more on Soto on the other side. I have stuff on Soto, but
not any puns.
No puns on Soto.
Actually, I do have a pun on Soto. Here it is. On executives that have been calling about Juan Soto or will call about Juan Soto, they're called upon to be championship magicians. Behind every great magician is the magic wand.
Wand? Oh, I love that. Dude, I love that. The magic wand is behind every great magician. I love that.
I don't know if I hate Scott Boras or I can't get enough of Scott Boras.
I don't like what he has done to the sport. Let me explain. What he has done, he's dragged out free agency. He's made it a complete, geez, we're going to float away or something or fly away. It really is. This is a disaster. This is a true disaster. The problem is you like to think that in other sports when free agency starts, you get some real big news, but he represents some sizable clients to his credit, the Sotos and the Snells. and he will wait this thing out as long as necessary, which benefits his clients sometimes. Not always, by the way. They sometimes settle for those 1 and 2 year deals late. That's happened a lot here recently. But so I just feel like he has maybe done it against the wishes of the sport to maximize value, which I guess is his job, but I don't know if it's good for the sport. I don't think it is good for the sport, really.
Yesterday it was reported that, or not reported, I think Boras said it, that Juan Soto is going to, quote, take his time during free agency here, which means this ain't getting done anytime soon.
No, of course it isn't.
I do think he will get a deal done well before spring training. It won't go like, in 2019 when Manny and Harper didn't get deals until like March. But when the winter meetings happen here in about a month, where are the winter meetings this year, by the way?
They are in, I'm going to speculate and say Dallas, Texas. Now I'm going to look it up.
Okay. Wherever
just make them up.
Yeah, I do. Wherever the winter meetings
Dallas.
The Dallas?
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those, well, we're just waiting for the first shoe to drop. We're waiting for that first domino, and that first domino is Juan Soto. And once Juan Soto signs, then everything will follow. And then Juan Soto won't sign, and then you're going to get waiting and waiting and waiting. You'll get some minor moves, but you won't get the big moves, right? Blake Snell and Corbin Burns and Pete Alonso. And I argue that's bad for your sport. When you have a week in a part of a year that really not a lot's going on. Like, yes, NFL is happening, but your winter meetings are during the middle of the week. It's basketball season in the NBA, but it's not like a consequential time. It's the start of the season. College basketball is going on, but you're not even anywhere near March Madness yet. You need to carve out your lane and make that the biggest moment of the offseason for your sport. And they have failed time and time again. The last time the winter meetings were here in San Diego, I thought it was fantastic because you had move after move after move. Remember that?
Yeah, well, Xander Bogaerts obviously to San Diego, but also Aaron Judge, also Trey Turner. Yeah, the problem
Justin
is
Verlander.
It's dictated by the big agents. And if the big agents are going to get, I guess, the bites they're looking for, I don't think they're opposed to doing it early. Like the stuff that Boras is already saying, I don't buy. He says, due to the volume of interest and Soto's desire to hear from teams, I can't put a time frame on it. I know the teams. Yeah. There's 4 teams that are realistic in this.
Right.
It's the Yankees, it's the Mets, it's the Dodgers, and there's a what would they call it? A mystery team. So put all that aside. You can meet with 3 teams. There's only 3 teams in baseball that have a blank check that can write a 6 with the first number or a 5 with the first number. So they could get it done sooner rather than later. But I think that Boras believes that by slow playing it, he's squeezing more money out of the deal. It doesn't always work like that. But for someone like Scott Boras, when you got New York teams involved in it, he's probably right. I think the more time you take with it, the more money he probably does get.
Now, do you put any blame on the owners for this being like now the norm in the sport?
I don't know. What do you do if you're ownership? You're saying change like the CBA? Like change
it never will. I mean, it's never going to change
because the players union, the players don't want to sign deals that aren't advantageous for them.
Yeah, the whole baseball system, free agency, what teams are going to spend money, what teams aren't going to spend money, the big dogs, the bottom feeders. Like, I don't see that changing anytime soon. But I also put blame on owners because guess what? The now Sacramento A's and John Fisher, they have money. They just choose not to spend it. The owner of the Marlins, they have money. They just choose not to spend it.
But you're right. But still, even if they did spend money, they're still not in the market, unfortunately, for top-tier free agents. Unlike in the NFL or in the NBA, the Marlins, even with money, are not going to write checks for $600 million.
Because they don't have the cash flow that's coming into the organization to offset or help with those costs.
They don't. I mean, I'm with you. They're pocketing money, but they're not pocketing $600 million.
No,
that they can offset for one. So,
but they're also they're pocketing a good chunk of change that they're not putting right back into the on-field product, which is crap.
But the issue also there is when you got some teams spending 10% of what other teams are spending in general, that's just a bad makeup. That's a bad dynamic.
It
for the
really
sport.
is.
It really is. All right, we do have the latest on the Juan Soto market. Does it involve LA or not? We'll share that with you on the other side. We're outside Viejas Arena until 6 p.m. We have Aztec tickets to give away for next Tuesday night as well. Do not go anywhere. Me and Fletch have pregame coverage beginning at 6 p.m. San Diego State, UC San Diego. It's Jon and Jim. All right, make sure to catch San Diego State basketball tonight against UC San Diego right here at the home of the Aztec. San Diego's scoring 760 pregame with me and Fletch. Beginning at 6, Uncle Teddy has the tip right after 7 p.m. here tonight. We have a pair of tickets to give away for next Tuesday's game at Viejas Arena. So we'll do that between now and 6 p.m. Now, I had something for you, Jim. And it's this. It's off the text line, okay?
Okay.
So the texter knows that Soto's going to the Dodgers. Here's why.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 218. Soto's going to the Dodgers. Word came out today that they're moving Mookie back to the infield, which is accurate. Mookie Betts is expected to play in the infield next year, but that is not because of Juan Soto. They didn't make that decision based on inside knowledge from the GM meetings that Soto will be signing momentarily in Los Angeles. So
Did they announce
I
at
don't
the beginning of the year?
What's that?
Didn't they announce that he was going back to the infield at the beginning of the year?
Beginning of what year?
The baseball season year?
Like next season?
No, I feel like they told everyone that at the beginning of this season that just finished.
No,
he was in the outfield.
He was in the outfield.
I know, but they said that I swear that they said he was moving back to the infield earlier in the year.
Okay, so
he did play
during
infield this
the
past
year,
season.
Yeah, he played a little. They may have had those conversations. I guess it's kind of like official that they do want to use him in the infield more next year. I don't think that because Mookie Betts changes positions that has anything to do with Juan Soto. I really don't.
I don't know why they would move Mookie Betts to the infield. He's a much better outfielder with his range and his arm and the way he plays.
This is a cat and mouse game that's played out with them for 5 years.
For Mookie Betts?
I feel like there's always Betts conversation around where he's going to play.
Yeah, yes and no.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't
conversation.
I don't like listen to the Dodgers radio or Dodger podcast. I don't know if there has been or hasn't been.
You're missing.
But yeah, I don't care. But if and Colin made this stupid point about the Dodgers need to go out and get Juan Soto. Stop. If you want to just make the sport even worse, okay, you really want to do that? If your whole thing is there needs to be a super team in baseball, bro, they already are a super team. They have 3 MVPs at 1, 2, 3 in their lineup.
They already spent more than everyone else.
Yeah, you want another guy? That's just ridiculous. So I thought that take was stupid. And I think if the Dodgers go out and they get Mookie Betts, then it just even furthers the point of how this system does not work and how it's the has-beens against the the has-nots against the has-beens. That's right? That's not even right. That's not right.
I don't know if that's right.
That's not right. The top tier against the lower tier, and the top tier, the elite teams in baseball it's like bunched up to like 3 or 4 teams that can go out and spend big time money.
Yeah.
And no other team has any opportunity whatsoever to do that.
So to Brent's point, because I just looked it up, Betts last year was expected to move from right to second, but following Gavin Lux's defensive struggles to start the spring, Betts instead shifted over and became the Dodgers. I don't even know what I'm looking at. All I know is this, that it is reported today at the GM meeting that Betts will likely be moving back to the infield in 2025, either short or second in 2025.
If the Dodgers went out and signed Juan Soto, how would you react?
The same way I reacted to like the time. I mean, at some point, like enough isn't enough, and you do need to have like a reasonable play field for the 30 teams. We get it. There's going to be an equity, and all teams, should be trying to win. I don't fault them for trying to win, but at some point, and again, it's trying over spilled milk, because if the Padres did it, I'd be all for them having Betts, Freeman, and Otani. You want they kind of Padres did have a bit of a super team.
It's Soto and Manny and Tatis and Boras.
But I honestly don't think that he will land. I truly feel that way. I think if anything to drive the market up, I think he wants to be in New York. If he's had success in New York, I think he will go back to the Yankees. I don't think the Yankees will be outbid when it comes to Juan Soto, and I don't tie Betts going back to the infield, which is something they've discussed a lot over the years. I don't tie that to Juan Soto's free agent.
I agree with you. I think Juan Soto will be a New York Yankee. I'll be shocked if he's not. If he's a Met, then they've outpaid. They've overpaid for him. Like, I don't think if you had 2 same deals on the table from the Mets and the Yankees, he's gonna be like, I choose the Mets. No, the Mets will have to overpay for Juan Soto, whatever that number would be. Like the Yankees offered 550 and the Mets offered 650. Well, guess what? He's probably going to the Mets.
Yeah, for $100 million.
Right. And that to me is like the only way I see Juan Soto going elsewhere is if another team just outbids the Yankees by a good amount of money. And maybe it doesn't take a good amount of money for maybe it only takes like 20 million or 50 million, right? Or maybe he doesn't want to be a New York, but he wants to stay in New York and he wants to be with the Mets. It's again, I would be surprised if he goes anywhere else. But if he does go somewhere else, that team that he goes to is going to be paying a lot more money in my opinion.
Yeah, because to your point, the Yankees do settle on 550. If the Mets are like, we'll beat it. Like you're not beating 550 and offering 551. To your point, it's gonna have to be sizable. And I don't even know what 550. It might be $1 million. And it might be $75 million. I don't think he's right at a 560 offer. If he has 550 on the table, you're talking about an embarrassment of riches. It's not gonna be about $5 million.
Yeah, the thing with the Dodgers that concerns me the most is not Juan Soto. It's okay. Are they going to go out and get like a Willie Adames and then a Roki Sasaki and then re-sign Oscar Hernandez? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's almost more concerning.
Yeah, well,
doing all the work. I mean, completing the roster as opposed to going after the shiny object.
Because I don't feel like they're going to go after Soto. I feel like they're going to try to re-up as many of the players that are free agents as they can, while also improving in areas with all-star level talent, like Willie Adames, and getting as much pitching as you possibly can, because this past year they were spent at the end of the World Series. They were spent. If they didn't win the division, like I don't know what happened.
Could have been in trouble.
They could have been in trouble. And
right.
if that thing went 7th, went 6th, World Series, they could have been in trouble. Yeah.
Never know. All right, on the other side, we'll give away San Diego State tickets for next Tuesday at Viejas Arena, San Diego State and Occidental. We're getting you ready for the Aztecs opener tonight against UC San Diego at 7. Our pregame coverage officially begins at 6. We know that Mike Shildt is back. What does it mean for Ruben Niebla? If you missed it earlier, we'll hear from AJ Preller on the other side. We're here until 6 p.m. outside Viejas Arena. It's Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by the Jim Preller Real Estate Team. San Diego State opens their season tonight at Viejas Arena against UCSD. Game time, 7 p.m. Pregame starts at 6 o'clock in an hour from now. We're outside Viejas Arena getting you ready for that. And today the Padres made it official, announcing the signing of Mike Shildt to his 2-year contract extension. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Preller has the buyer. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is the final hour of Jon and Jim. Like Jim just told you, we're outside Viejas Arena. We will give away a pair of tickets to see San Diego State and Occidental next Tuesday inside Viejas Arena. So we'll do that this hour. We do have Jim's back page ahead. And we'll hear from AJ Preller and Mike Shildt this hour as well. But San Diego State is taking on UC San Diego in 2 hours. A tip-off at 7:05. Ted Leitner on the call. Opening night, Jim, at Viejas Arena. It will be sold out. They will unveil a banner, a Sweet 16 banner from 2024, and we'll get this party started once again for 2024-25 in about 2 hours.
Yeah, can't wait. You got the call on your view. Of course, you can listen to Uncle Teddy right here on 760. But, yeah, I can't wait to see the new-look team, Magoon Gwath, Nick Boyd, Wayne McKinney, who we talked to, Miles Bird. Can he take that next step this year? BJ Davis, a guy that there's a lot of promise, a lot of I'd say there's hype around him going into this season.
Absolutely, I agree. I don't think there's anyone with more hype than Gwath, which is where you started.
Yeah.
Like, is he one of the most hyped Aztec players of the last decade? He's coming into his first ever game. I would say yes.
I would say he's the most unknown Aztec player. Like, you don't know what he's going to be.
No, I agree. But don't you feel like there's been a lot of anticipation for his debut?
That's the word, I think.
He's the most anticipated player I can remember. I mean, it almost feels as if he's more anticipated than when Jalen McDaniels debuted here. Of course, he's playing the NBA. More anticipation than when Malachi Flynn off a red shirt or Jaden Ledee off a red shirt.
But the thing with Magoon Gwath, he's been playing basketball, John, for what? Like 3 years? 2 years?
No, I don't know. Well, he hasn't really played for 2 years because he was hurt his last year of high school.
Yeah.
And then he was redshirting last year. Yeah. I think it's more like he hasn't played. He was playing, but then he hasn't played for 2 years. Right? He didn't start playing basketball 2 years ago, did he?
I meant like the total time he's played basketball.
Man, I don't know the answer to that.
It's not a long time.
Right.
So yeah, I think the anticipation is very high. I don't know if the hype, you could say he's like the most hyped Aztec player because we don't know what he's going to be.
No, we have no idea, but I'm just saying from a sheer anticipation, curiosity, like he's right there. We didn't mention Farrell Compton.
We did not know.
Taj DeGorville. Farrell Compton is the highest ranked prep player to commit to San Diego State since 2005.
Yep.
Top 75 type player nationally. So there's a lot of reasons for excitement. We'll see if they can put it all together from night one. Again, they're without Reese Waters. That's one of the huge stories to begin the year.
Mm-hmm.
Reese Waters, who by and large helped carry the team in the first half of the year, including a win at Gonzaga. Reese Waters has a stress fracture. He is out. He will miss at least, at least the next 4+ weeks of action for San Diego State. Could be longer than that.
And when we talked to Miles Bird over at the Broken Yoke, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
He was talking about, hey, I didn't have that opportunity my first year to get like some consistent playing time at the start of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he mentioned when he got into the tournament, not his first season, but last year, right? When he got to play, it was like, whoa, it kind of caught him off guard a little bit. And that's not going to be the case this year once Reese returns. Once Reese returns, guys like BJ Davis, who would you say that's the player that's going to step into that role, or who do you think steps into that role? Farrell Compton. I mean, Farrell Compton's not really a shooting guard, but
no. It's going to be BJ Davis. Yeah, BJ Davis will step into Reese Waters' role at least initially.
Yeah,
and then you'll see players like Taj DeGorville, freshman guard, Kimo Ferrari, graduate student guard, have opportunities to take some of those minutes. Would be my guess.
I think we saw Kimo Ferrari walk by us a couple, maybe like the last hour or so.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to get some solid run because he can shoot. And this team needs
He
shooting.
can shoot. Yep.
And in the scrimmage against UCLA, he had a nice scrimmage. He hit a couple threes, I want to say, or at least he hit 1 3. I know that.
He hit a 3. He had 4 steals, 3 assists, 4 rebounds in that game, by the way.
Okay.
He had 4 steals in that game.
He's just a guy that just knows how to play the game.
Yeah, he's going to get minutes tonight.
And he's going to get minutes.
Yep.
He's going to be a shooter off the bench. BJ Davis is the player that that's going to take over that Reese role for now. And that's good for him to get this early run in the season. And so when Reese does come back, if BJ plays well, it just makes your team better because you have confidence in BJ Davis coming off the bench.
It's the you have 6 starting pitchers theory. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Or you have 2 shortstops theory, or like who's going to lead off? Is it Fernando Tatis Jr. or Luis Ariz or Jorson Profar when he's playing well, or Luis Ariz? Those things have a way of sorting themselves out. What doesn't sort itself out is when you don't have options.
Yep.
When you're forced into making decisions. So it's going to be interesting tonight. San Diego State against a veteran group. UC San Diego under Eric Olin. We had him on the show yesterday. If you missed that, we'll play it for you during pregame. Coming up at 6 p.m. The other story we've talked a lot about today is Mike Shildt is officially official. He's got a 2-year contract extension. AJ Preller and Shildt met with the media earlier today. Our takeaway wasn't the Shildt extension. We talked about it yesterday. He signed through 2027. What does it mean for the rest of Shildt's coaching staff, including pitching coach Ruben Niebla? Here was AJ Preller earlier today.
And since the end of the season, it's really like parallel paths for our baseball ops group. When one path is obviously getting Mike done, and then Mike and myself. It's almost been every day, honestly, just sitting down, and it's a review mainly of our staff. And I've been around managers that don't really want to be a part of that at times. Like, to me, I think it's super healthy when you have general manager sit down and just like honestly can walk through, hey, like at the end of the day, the things that our staff brought to the table. I think both of us over the course of a couple of days, we were pretty, it was pretty easy to be on the same page in terms of bringing this group back, understanding here's the areas that we can grow in, and now being in the process of getting that group under contract. So I think from our standpoint, we'll have more to say over the course of the next few days and, the next week or so. But again, from Mike and my standpoint, we think we have a super talented group. And we've been having different conversations with everybody in that staff, and I think it's really about bringing that group back and building on the success from this year and having that continuity. That was important to Mike from day one of myself, and that's really what the last couple of weeks have been about. And we'll be able to announce that when we get the full staff under contract the next week or so.
At the moment, do you expect all of them to be back? And can you speak specifically to Ruben Niebla and where you are with him since his contract expired?
Yeah, no, I know, from Ruben's standpoint, again, he's done a great job with the pitching staff. He's been here 3 years now. Again, a lot of common ground from our organization, Mike, myself, Ruben. And again, I think it's clear he wants to be here. He knows we want him to be here. And, again, when we announce the staff, I think you'll see we're going to reward the people that have performed. Ruben's been a big performer, and we're looking forward for him being a big part of the Padres organization for a long time. So,
did you get that sunset pick? Nice. That's good. It's good. It's a great sunset right now.
Yeah, I did.
At VA House.
I just told you I'm going to take a pic. You were the one that started talking about it during the sound, so I figured you would just talk.
Translation there for AJ Preller. They're bringing everybody back on the coaching staff.
So when you say everyone, you mean everyone?
When I say everyone, I mean everyone.
The reason I asked that is, could someone potentially leave for a better offer? Not Niebla. Niebla's coming back.
Like who? That I'm not.
I don't know.
I don't want to be this blunt, but who that matters?
Yeah, I guess what matters is Victor Rodriguez, your hitting coach, your third base coach Tim Leeper, because there is something about obviously third base coaches that does matter over the course of a year, and the pitching coach Ruben Niebla. I mean, those are the critical pieces, obviously.
Yeah, Ruben Niebla, Victor Rodriguez, Mike Shildt.
Yeah, that's the core.
That's the core right there. And I thought Victor Rodriguez, with the shift in philosophy at the plate that this team took this year, I think Victor Rodriguez had a big part in. I mean, it's on the players to actually take that and translate it on the field. But I think Victor Rodriguez is one of the rare hitting coaches here in San Diego that actually, has succeeded, and it's going to be around for longer than just one season.
Mm-hmm.
Ruben Niebla, not much needs to be said about him other than lock him up for the next however many years to line him up with Shildt. So that would be a 3-year contract extension. And Preller's like, yeah, we're going to give guys, we're going to reward guys for what they have done here this last year. That is, guess what? We're bringing everybody back. He just likes to, talk a lot about it.
It's a good thing to our collective points because they've had so much change in the organization under AJ Preller. I mean, Dennis Lynn has written about it. All the coaching staffs, all the members of staffs, all the managers over the years to get even a little bit of continuity, which is what we're looking at heading in to 2025, even to get a little bit of, I don't know, something sustained. When you look at Mike Shildt signed through 2027, we don't know if we'll be here at the end of 2027 or not. But if you could get a manager in place for a half decade, 5 years, that's a win. The Padres have not done that routinely under AJ Preller. So I think they sense Mike Shildt is like Preller. They talked about it today. They're baseball guys. They obsess over it. They do have a good relationship with each other. Why not work together moving forward? There's no point to make a change just to make change. And obviously, Shildt coming off the year they just had isn't going anywhere. And from the Machado, Tatis, Bogarts perspective, have the same voice. You don't need to have 5 voices in 5 years. Have the same voice for a couple of years.
Yeah. What Shildt built here last year in that clubhouse, hopefully that stays the same for the next 3 seasons at minimum.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't happen with Bob. We all thought after the 2022 season, all right, turning point of the franchise, stability, great clubhouse, NLCS run. Like, this is it. Wasn't the case. I think Mike Shildt's internal optimism, no matter what, while it comes off cringy to us at times, I do think in the world of baseball, that might play better than it does to just like schmucks like me and you who analyze stuff every single day like it's the end of the world potentially. Baseball, it's a long season. If you're doom and gloom like we are sometimes, if they're on a 5-game losing streak, that's kind of like a really bad thing to do on the side of a clubhouse, knowing, oh, we got 4 more months of this. Like, we need to have someone pick us up, not put us down all the time in here.
Are you allowed to say that word that you just said?
What did I say?
That the S word.
Did I curse?
Brent, is that a legal word?
I didn't hear it.
Like the SCH word?
What did I say? I did not curse. I did not cuss.
Okay.
What are you talking about? Now you're freaking me out.
Yeah. It's like, what is that? $200,000 fine or something? You can pay it off in installments.
Brent's pretty good with that. He would have heard. Like, it's like a trigger word.
So can I say it? Because can I say the word you said?
Can you spell it on the rundown here and then?
Yeah. You said, you guys can look.
Hold on.
That's a legal word?
Yeah.
You can say schmuck.
No, you can't say that.
Oh, yeah, you can say that.
That's the words you just said.
Why are you freaking me out?
I don't know. That words to me is like, whoa, you don't say that.
Schmuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay. Guess we just did.
Hold on. Let me look at hold on a second here.
The FCC? Ban words or whatever?
You scared me there for a second. I'm like, hold on. Yeah, schmuck. A foolish it's a foolish person.
All right, so the John and
you've really got to be some schmuck to fall for that one. John, you're freaking me out, bro.
I guess I'm acting like one. All right, we're going to hear from Brian Dutcher on the other side on the journey that is this upcoming season. Plus, we'll give away Aztec men's basketball tickets for Tuesday night against Occidental at 7 p.m. Stay with us on Jon and Jim.
You schmuck.
All right, Jon Jim with you outside Viejas Arena on this Wednesday evening. San Diego State will start its 2024-25 season tonight against Crosstown at UC San Diego. Rematch came up on the Aztecs last year, 63-62. Jim.
John.
You don't have a choice. So this is Brian Dutcher and his
Always like a
press
long
conference.
pause.
This was on Monday. Weekly press conference talking about the journey. Soon.
Very soon.
I'm always excited, but I'm nervous too. I'm a coach. So, I obsess about every detail and try to prepare the team as best we can. But at the end of the day, I know it's going to be a journey. As much as I want to be great right away, and maybe we will be. Maybe we'll come out and have a magical first performance. I just think I'm wired for the journey. So whatever that journey is with this team, this will be my 8th year as the head coach and obviously 25 years here. I know each of these 25 years I've been here, every one of those teams has had a different journey. So we'll see what this journey is with this team, and I'm excited to start it on Wednesday.
All right, so Wednesday is tonight. That was Brian Dutcher on Monday. He always talks about that. The seasons are journeys, and it's true. Like, it's not a straight line. You don't go 30-0. I mean, they did in 2020, kind of.
Oh, don't mention 2020. Bro.
I know. They were 30-1 before the Mountain West Championship game, then 30-2. But yeah, there's going to be highs and lows, and they have a really challenging November.
Yep.
And arguably, we'll see that. Could begin tonight, but it certainly is going to begin in a couple of weeks. They play Gonzaga.
Yeah, Gonzaga, who blew the doors off of Baylor. Then the NIL tournament, the combination of matchups they could have that final game, that's going to be difficult. So, yeah, I think when you look at a Aztecs non-conference schedule, that kind of tells you a little bit of what Brian Dutcher and his coaching staff thinks of his team this year. And I think he thinks this team can be good. I don't know how good they can be. That's like a wait and see type of thing. But I think Dutch feels like there is something there that if they can tap into it, they could be a good team. Yes, they were picked 4th to win the Mountain West Conference. They have some injuries right now, but I think that the depth of the team with what they have could be beneficial to them. Like, they could run 7 deep once Reese Waters come back, or 8 deep, once Reese Waters comes back. And that's a good, if you have a team that's 8 deep, 8-9 deep, that's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the best teams they've had, I think about 2 years ago, they were 9 deep. 2020, they were probably like 8.5 deep. I think tonight the rotation is going to be 10 players. And then from there, you're going to narrow it down. I mean, they'll get to, a 9-man rotation. I'm kind of with you. I'm looking at Reese Waters like a trade deadline acquisition, assuming he comes back, he's healthy, he's fully healthy and effective. Like, to me, that's a big acquisition, and hopefully you get him when you need him, which would be right by the new year. You're starting conference play. Hopefully you've played decently well. You've got a decent resume, and you've put yourself in position to qualify for the NCAA tournament. So, yes, I think the experience that some of these players can get in the absence of Reese Waters is beneficial. I also think it's critically important to get Reese Waters back at some point to then lift the team, hopefully to an additional level that's necessary in the second half.
And I hope it's not a, like, save us, Reese type of thing.
No, hopefully not. You're right.
I hope it's like an addition, like, hey, help us elevate when you come back. Can you help elevate us? And I think you can if he returns fully healthy. And some guys take that step and take that leap. I think, would you agree with one of the most important players this season is Miles Byrd? Because he is not only a returning player, but he's given more of a bigger role now, and they're going to need him to kind of like shoulder some load here with scoring, defense. He can't just be a guy that maybe puts up 4 or 5 points a game. Like, if you could push it to 9-10 points a game, I think they would be happy with that.
I think he'll make a big leap forward. He's their most experienced player. He's played in more games as an Aztec than anyone on the roster, and that would have included even if Reese Waters was healthy. I mean, he had some huge moments for them a year ago. Blocks, defense, timely threes, energy. He'll be given more opportunities. I think he told me he wants to shoot 40% from three. He thinks it's a reasonable goal.
Love that.
He can shoot. He can defend. He's athletic. He's a big piece. I mean, from a sheer talent perspective, they have it. They're very talented. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they're long.
You watch it
they're
for
lengthy.
5 minutes, you see the talent.
Yeah.
But they are relatively inexperienced. They are absolutely new.
It's like
in terms
Play-Doh.
of,
You got to mold it.
I don't know if they're like Play-Doh.
No, I meant like they got like there's like not endless possibilities of what they could become, but
like the toy, not the guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
They're like Gumby?
No, like they're an unfinished product right now, but with a lot of potential to it to make it into something really good.
So like a blank canvas?
Not a blank canvas.
When I think of Play-Doh, I think of just like different colors.
I think of like you can shape Play-Doh into
like clay.
Like
Yeah,
clay.
that's true.
Like you make a castle out of this, like this blob of clay or Play-Doh or whatever. Legos, right? Here's a bunch of Legos. Make me a castle.
San Diego State.
I'm cold. I'm
UC
sorry. I
San
don't know what I'm saying
Diego
right now.
Coming up at 7
Whoa.
p.m. Pre-game coverage, myself and Ben Fletcher will begin.
How cold are you?
At 6. We'll give away Aztec tickets against Occidental coming up at after this timeout. Plus, an interesting Juan Soto comp across sports that we'll share off the text line. 70470 started with the word team. Jim's back page is ahead. This is Jon and Jim. All right, hey guys, it is Jon and Jim, and we've been telling you about our friends over at Jamul Casino throughout this fall, and I'm telling you, it's the perfect spot to get throughout football season, especially on Monday nights, because you have tons of chances to win big at Jamul throughout football season, especially on Monday nights.
Yeah, with 10 winners every hour at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and 9 p.m., your odds are better than ever. Plus, you're going to earn entries all month long by playing and getting two-time entries on Tuesdays with at least $500 in cash for all winners and a chance to win up to $25,000 in cash.
Plus, Jamul has great food. Trust us, Tony Gwynn Sports Pub, much more as well. Great food and drinks, all the televisions to watch, all the action. Tony Gwynn Sports memorabilia as well. And then Jamul has endless dining 5 nights a week, including a Saturday surf and turf buffet. You got to check it out with the steaks, seafood, and more.
Yeah, it's a great place to go to have a good time. Great food, great atmosphere. Their deck bar overlooking the valley, and of course, Tony Gwynn Sports Pub. It's a great place to watch a sporting event and have some really good food as well. Jamul Casino, it's fun above all else. All right, this update is brought to you by the Jim Preller real estate team. San Diego State, they're opening their season tonight at Viejas Arena against UCSD. 7 p.m. tip-off. Our pregame starts in a half hour from now outside of Viejas Arena. It's official. The Padres announced this morning the 2-year contract extension for Mike Shildt to the 2027 year, and John is cold. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Preller has the buyer. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
All right, we're going to give away those San Diego State tickets for Tuesday at Viejas against Occidental. We'll do it in the next 10 minutes. So be listening for your chance to win those tickets. And it's gotten windy. I was told on social media that we have Santa Cruz, right? Is that correct? Okay, San Diego, so maybe that has something to do with it. Because it's gotten windy earlier today.
Yeah, I think that's legit.
Off the text. Yeah, I think it is. Off the text. 760. If Soto goes to the Dodgers, is he viewed similarly to Durant? No, because Soto won a title in DC.
Yeah.
So no.
Kevin Durant did not.
I don't see any, and you can't compare the two sports.
What?
Well, yeah, but not having won one.
Yeah.
I think it's the key distinction. I think
Right.
if you had won one in OKC, the story would be
Completely,
thought they
because
were
he gave that city a championship.
I thought they were just doing their work.
Soto, I think baseball is different. In basketball, the Durant difference is so much. No, Soto, yeah, player, but doesn't guarantee success like Durant to the court.
Basketball is completely different. One player changed everything. Soto. Perfect example. The Padres in 2023, what happened? He was their best offensive player by
And 2022, they were good, but he wasn't so different.
no. Baseball is a team sport, and you have the right combination of players. You get a little lucky. You need to clutch. You have to every team wants Soto on it. Yeah. But if Soto's on the A's, guess what? The A's still lose 5 games.
I mean, maybe a little better, but yeah, you're right. I mean, even okay, to put in perspective, this whole like wins above replacement player. If you're a great player and you're a 6 or 7 wins above replacement player, to your point, if a team won 65 games last year and you add a 6-WAR player, what are you going to win? 70 or 71? You haven't changed the course of the entire team. Where Kevin Durant in his prime alone changes a team.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant in his prime.
It's almost like in baseball, you need to have the complementary pieces around you. You put Juan Soto in a random A's lineup, does nothing.
Does nothing.
But if you have Juan Soto in the lineup where he's protected by, I don't know, Aaron Judge, makes a difference. Or, protected by Manny Machado, makes a difference. You put Juan Soto in a lineup that has nobody in it, it's not going to really matter much. So the Kevin Durant comparisons, you can't really have those anybody other than basketball players, in my opinion.
I'm just trying to think, if you wanted to do that, if Soto goes to the Dodgers, is he viewed similarly to Durant? I mean, I would almost use that comp more for Machado if he went somewhere. I would say, bad example because Machado's already been there, but hear me out. If he had never played for the Dodgers, and if Machado ended up late in his career with the Dodgers and won a World Series, maybe not late in his career, but still late prime and won, then I'd be like, it's almost like the only way for him to win, he had to force the hand and go to the top payroll and go to the most complete team. And that's how he was able to finish off his legacy and win. That to me is more of a Durant story than Juan Soto, who is a 19-year-old, was arguably the best player in the postseason for a team that won the World Series.
Right. Yeah. So it's
plus he's been in another World Series now with the Yankees.
Right.
He's still only 25. He could win.
Multiple.
5 titles. We don't know. I mean, he could certainly win multiple.
Yeah, he could absolutely win multiple.
He should win multiple, I would think.
Well, if he stays on the Yankees
for 10 years.
The American League isn't like the National League. We saw that this postseason, how different they were. It felt like the National League had 3 or 4 teams that if they went to the World Series against an American League team, those National League teams are going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I think the National League is better than the American League. Wherever he goes, it will be for the most money. And hopefully it's not the Dodgers. That's all I got to say about that.
I agree.
Hopefully it's not the Dodgers.
So Kevin Acee is in Texas where the GM meetings have been going on, and he has written about the press conference that we've been discussing for the better part of the last couple of hours. Mike Shildt and AJ Preller announcing the Shildt extension. Mike Shildt is signed through 2027. And Kevin is writing about this dynamic and this relationship. I mean, simply a lot of times in sports, it is about relationships. We talk about that with teammates. Is it the right group? Do Soto and Machado, do Soto and Bogarts, whatever it is, do Soto and Tatis, do Tatis and Machado, do they mesh? Did Melvin and Preller work the way that Shildt and Preller work? Doesn't mean Shildt's a better manager on his face, not the right way to use it, but it doesn't mean that Shildt's a better manager, but maybe he's a better manager with AJ Preller than Bob Melvin was with AJ Preller.
Right. Well, what we've seen here is this exact dynamic play out before with Jace Tingler and Preller, where they were on the same page. But guess what? Those players did not respect Jace Tingler. I think these players respect Mike Shildt, and hopefully they continue to respect Mike Shildt, and hopefully guys like Manny Machado continue to make sure that clubhouse is, you know, not like it was in 2023, which he was a big part of to make it as bad as it was. Hopefully he can continue to be in lockstep with Shildt and Preller, because the second that this clubhouse has any type of turn on Shildt, it's over. It's over. And we've seen that. We've seen this clubhouse be wonky at times and go up and down. Can everything be consistent? Clubhouse, manager, general manager. Those are the three things. The general manager and manager being on the same page, we've seen that happen here before. It was the clubhouse that lost respect for the manager. I don't think that's the case here with Shildt, because Shildt coming in had some history as far as, like, he's been in the postseason multiple times in the Cardinals organization. He's won 90 games in the regular season. He has experience. He's not coming in this whole thing being like, I've never managed a game in my life, like with Jace Tingler. It's different here, and hopefully it continues and stays that way.
So the new reporting from Kevin Acee here tonight in the UT is that it's a formality, because Niebla is overseeing some pitching meetings over the next 2 days. So Ruben Niebla, who is not technically under contract, is taking part in pitching meetings over the next 2 days. How about this? Victor Rodriguez is already signed. He had a contract through 2025. He's expected to have another year added to it, which then speaks to our belief that Ruben Niebla will get multiple years. Of course he will. He's not getting 1 year off this. He's going to get at least 2026. Shoot, it might be 2027. But the reporting is Rodriguez has 2 years. We believe now Niebla has 4 more years. The Padres have offered contracts to all of their coaches. Exact same staff in 2025.
Yeah. He just wasn't going to say it today, because they never say things publicly until things are announced.
Right. And if something didn't come to fruition, if something fell apart, you wouldn't want to say, yeah, everyone's back. And then something wasn't.
Right. And you can read between the lines. They're all coming back. They're going to have contract extensions. They're going to be here. And the nucleus, the core of the Padres, the AJ Preller and Mike Shildt on the same page, along with, you know, guys like Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, along with the coaching staff coming back, and Ruben Niebla, Victor Rodriguez, with the nucleus of the team. You have a pretty damn good, like, head start here. It's just, all right, you need to fill out the holes in the roster with pieces that aren't going to cost you a whole lot, because you can't go out and spend the big time money like you could maybe a couple years ago.
You watched the entire press conference on Zoom, right?
Yeah, I had it on. Yeah.
And you were in a meeting.
Yeah.
Was payroll discussed?
Payroll was not discussed. Okay. Here's the thing, John.
2 weeks ago, he said that he hoped to have a feel for payroll in the weeks ahead to formulate the plan for the offseason.
Here's the thing.
They're not going to tell us the payroll?
If AJ Cassavell was like, hey, AJ, what's your payroll next year going to look like?
Yeah, but not payroll specific.
How much money can you spend this offseason?
Are you in a position as an organization to go over the CBT if necessary?
Still nothing. Zippo. Like, you're not getting any type of concrete answers out of AJ regarding those types of things?
No, that was a good question.
It was a
Are
great
you
question.
in position as an organization to go over the CBT if necessary
Love that question.
in a desire to win?
I love that question. And AJ would have to think fast on his feet.
If I asked AJ Preller,
not answer it, but
if I
answer
asked
it.
AJ Preller his favorite color, it'd be like, it's funny because there's a lot of colors.
Yes, you know that.
We've had a good nucleus here, and they've worn different color uniforms even.
Yeah,
red's a good color, green's good. I like blue.
Yeah.
Blue's good some days.
We wear camouflage.
Yeah, because the question you asked is a pretty simple yes or no.
Or just like name a color.
Camouflage. It has like 3 colors in it. Camouflage is good.
Yeah. So
he's tough to pin down. Is the point.
The moves they make in the offseason will tell you what their payroll is going to be like, and if they're going to potentially go over the CBT.
If they sign Soto, they might be aggressive on payroll.
If they sign Corbin Burns or Blake Snell, they're probably going over the CBT.
If Luis Campusano's their starting catcher, they're probably staying under the CBT.
If they are saying things like,
Leo DeVries.
we really like Randy Vasquez and Matt Waldron to compete for the
3rd and 4th and 5th spot in a rotation.
then you're probably not going over the CBT. If you don't sign Profar and Hassan Kim, you're probably not going over the CBT.
Yeah. So the actions will tell us the story. I agree. All right. Here's what I want our callers to do right now. We are outside Viejas Arena, San Diego State, UC San Diego coming up at 7:05. The banners will be unveiled for a Sweet 16, I believe around 6:55. So make your way to your seats a little bit early for a pregame ceremony. And then, of course, player introductions, starting lineups coming up tonight for San Diego State and UC San Diego. But if you want to go to game 2 at home against Occidental on Tuesday, we have 2 free tickets for you. To the first caller right now, all you need to do is call 877-767-4760. First caller, you're going Tuesday night to see San Diego State and Occidental. The number to call, 877-767-4760. Our pregame coverage will begin at 6 p.m. Myself and Ben Fletcher. We'll hear from the head coach of UC San Diego, Eric Olin, in the 6 o'clock hour. Tip off at 7:05. Jim's back page is on the other side. This is Jon and Jim. All right, pregame coverage outside Viejas Arena will begin officially at 6 p.m. with me and Ben Fletcher. I'll be with you for about the first 45 minutes, and Fletcher will have the final 15 or 20 minutes. Then Ted Langer back in the call, season 30, as the voice of the Aztecs men's basketball program for Uncle Teddy begins tonight at 7:05 Pacific Standard Daylight, maybe not daylight time.
Yes.
So Ted on the call tonight, coming up at 7 p.m. If you missed our conversation with UCSD head coach Eric Olin, we'll play a portion of that back for you. During our pregame coverage, we'll have an injury report for you. We'll look around the Mountain West. We've got you covered beginning at 6 p.m. here from Viejas Arena. So are you ready for Backpage, or what's your deal?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get to it.
Have you heard about the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul stupid boxing match that's happening on Netflix in like a week?
Let me answer that. No.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, it's a live event happening on Netflix.
Is it also on Netflix?
It's on it's on Netflix.
That's what squirrels watch.
And there are insane like ticket packages being sold for this stupid fight.
Where is the fight? In Las Vegas?
I think it's in Las Vegas. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not really sure because I don't care.
Okay. So ticket packages to watch what? Is it a real fight? How old is Mike Tyson?
Like 50 something.
55.
55?
Yeah.
I thought he's like 60.
Jake Paul's in his like 20s. It's a total gimmick fight just to make money, and it's just total gimmick
It's
fight.
in Dallas. It's in Jerry World.
Oh, even better.
He was born in 66, so he's 58.
Right now the event is selling a quote owner's package for the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. It features a ringside suite. It includes a pre-fight locker room visit with Paul and Tyson, a private security detail, and a standing on stage during the weigh-in.
Yeah, I want that. How much?
$2 million.
Why would anyone do that for some hokey, staged, fake 59-year-old boxer fight? Right? This isn't like a real. Is this a sanctioned fight with like normal weighted gloves and everything?
I think it is, yeah.
Why is Mike Tyson fighting at 58.5?
Because he's going to make a lot of money off this fight.
Yeah, I know. That's why fighters fight.
This
You
is
should
the
not
only
be fighting at 60.
The only reason why they are doing this on Netflix, I think one of the first live sporting events on Netflix when WWE gets there in January.
Right.
It's only for money.
That and John Tyson's been in debt for like 30 years.
How?
Because he's crappy with his money. He fully admitted that when he went through his heyday and he got all that money, he didn't know how to drive. But instead of just hiring a driver and buying a limousine, he would rent one to take him places. And he pissed all of his money away, like lots of athletes do. So he's just
what is
bad
he
with
getting?
money.
How much is he getting for this fight? Any ideas? Is it like $10 million? Is it
I'm
more?
sure the purse is going to be probably upwards of 10 plus million. I don't know. I have no idea, nor do I really care. I just thought that I saw that story and I thought that was really stupid.
And what is Jake Paul doing? Is he a boxer? Who is he?
Is
he a YouTube streamer?
He's a social media influencer / boxer. That's what he is.
Bizarre.
It's all for show. He hasn't fought anybody real, and actually he did fight somebody real and he lost them, Tyson Fury. So he only does it because he had a huge following on TikTok and then YouTube, and he brain dead people that watched him will follow him to this, and it generates money and clicks and views.
He likes to fight a lot of washed up MMA fighters that aren't actual boxers, but he'll make them box, so then they're at a disadvantage, and then he thinks he's good.
Okay.
Did you know, John, at Costco, you can get a Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig dual autographed official Major League New York Yankees Beckett PSA authenticated baseball for $43,000.
Of course.
Is it on a pallet?
What?
Is it on a pallet?
No,
it's at Costco.
Right.
It's funny because
bulk.
in Costco, during their weekly ads that they release to Costco members to show them like maybe new items that will be at Costco for them to buy. It says here like, oh, you can get a barista for like $500. You can buy a Banana Republic quarter zip for like $20. You can buy 10-piece glass meal prep container for like $27.
And then you can buy this baseball.
And then you can buy this baseball signed by Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig for $43,000.
Now, how many do they have? Is it a one of one?
It does not say, but
It has to be.
it just says it's a new item available now at Costco.
I'll have to swing by.
Yeah.
After the game tonight, I'll swing by Mission Valley, pick up a Babe Ruth Lou Gehrig ball.
Like, hey, honey,
Hey,
look what I bought.
yeah, I got some milk and I got this Lou Gehrig ball.
Yeah, look what I got. Popeyes, John, is giving away free chicken sandwiches until November 10th. Now until November 10th, Popeyes customers can claim a complimentary chicken sandwich through the chain's app with any purchase of $10 or more, available for mobile pickup or delivery.
Okay. I don't eat meat.
Okay.
But our listeners may. There's probably someone listening that eats chicken.
Yes, that is true. It's not you. And Taco Bell is going to release their chicken nuggets nationwide
That
here
doesn't make any sense.
in December. The nuggets feature all white meat chicken marinated in a mild jalapeno buttermilk and coated with crunchy tortilla bits for added texture. A couple sauces they come with. The Bell sauce, a savory and tangy blend with subtle notes of chili peppers, jalapeno honey mustard sauce, a combination of sweet honey, tangy mustard, and a hint of jalapeno for a mild kick.
Why? What is the purpose? Chicken nuggets are available everywhere. Do what you do well. You do Mexican food. Why are you selling chicken nuggets?
Bro,
Because you just said it. Chicken nuggets are everywhere.
They want to get in
except
the
for
chicken
Taco
nugget
Bell.
game.
Well, yeah, and everyone talks about the Atlanta Falcons.
What about
Yeah,
the Atlanta
well,
Falcons?
They have fries too.
Yeah, they're maybe they'll have a burger soon, John.
Fries, okay. Fries, I see it. I feel like fries is a nice side item to most fast food meals. But I'm thinking of 15 places for chicken nuggets before I'm thinking of Taco Bell. Maybe 16.
Yeah, but can you use the same thing for fries?
Yes, maybe. It's a good point.
You know, when
Very
I think
good point.
fries, I'm not like, hey, let's go to Taco Bell. I want some
Okay.
fries.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, no. All right, that's all I got.
That's it for Jim's back page?
I gave you 4 stories, buddy.
4 stories.
How you doing?
All right. That's good.
Are you cold, Fletch?
Fletch is fine.
Liar!
He's in a t-shirt.
You
He's fine.
liar!
Is he wearing
Yeah,
shorts?
I bet he does. No, he's in a t-shirt though. He'll be here getting us ready. Pre-game coverage is going to begin at 6 p.m. San Diego State, UC San Diego is at 7:05. Ted Leitner on the call. We will get you ready for opening night, 2024 opening night inside Viejas Arena. Jim is going to go home.
And yes, watch this game.
He's going to go home and watch this game. When he's 2 feet, it's actually easier for you to just walk in
I know,
than
it
it is
really
for
is.
you to go home and watch the game.
Did you get me a pass?
No.
Then I
Because
can't.
you didn't ask me for a pass
I can't
until
go.
last night when I pressured you to be like, you need to go to the game.
Yeah, and guess what you did? You didn't give me a pass.
I didn't.
So that's on you. That's your fault.
It's my fault that you're not going.
Yes.
All right. So what do you think the headline? Let's make this like the Cannons. What's the headline going to be tomorrow?
A Rivers runs through Gates, leads Browns to loss. I don't know.
LA doesn't care.
Spanos F Spanos.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll see what the headline is tomorrow. Hopefully it involves a San Diego State win. We talked about it yesterday. I mean, there's no such thing as a must-win game on opening night, but it's like
Are you gonna be okay for the next hour?
I'm going to go inside at 6:45, but the answer is no.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Let's do
All
some
right, on
jumping
the other
jacks or
side.
something.
On the other side, full pregame coverage. The Aztecs countdown to tip off myself and Ben Fletcher. We'll hear from Eric Olin, UC San Diego's 12th year head coach. We'll take a look at the health of these teams, Mountain West scoreboards, top 25. We'll get you ready for tonight. A banner-raising night at Viejas Arena between San Diego State and UC San Diego. For Jim and Brent, I'm John. Ben Fletcher will join me on the other side. It's our countdown to tip off. It is next right here on San Diego Sports 760.
Peace out. Bye.